Allegiant Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The New York Yankees meet the Texas Rangers. Pitching for Texas tonight, Nolan Ryan. And on the mound for the Yankees, Scott Kamenicki. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Yankees baseball. Tonight, the Yankees and the Texas Rangers move into Game 2 of their series. The Yankees were come-from-behind winners last night, taking the first game from Texas 9-6. I'm Dwayne Statz. Nice to have you with us, and we hope you enjoy the evening of Yankee baseball we have in store. With that victory last night, the Yankees got back to the 500 mark in the American League's Eastern Division. And as we take a look at the standings, they're running 8.5 back of Toronto. Baltimore and Milwaukee also ahead of the Yankees in the Eastern Division standings of the American League. And as I'm joined by Tony Kubek. Tony, as we remember back, well, almost a year to the day, the Yankees were right at that 500 mark, I think maybe a game under a year ago today.
Well, Tartable's bat is certainly starting to help a little bit more now. Mattingly driving the ball better in the fourth spot sure has helped. Inner defense is considerably better than last year. I think two key guys really have been Charlie Hayes at third and Andy Stankiewicz at short, both ways, offensively and defensively.
And I think most people feel that this ball club is, without question, a better ball club than the one a year ago.
It's a better ball club with the exception of the starting pitching again. And, of course, with Steve Howe gone, nobody knows for how long. Steve Farr down right now. The bullpen is kind of out of whack right at this point. So they're going to need better starting pitching and perhaps giving Hillegas a couple of starts. He may be on trial, and they may move some of the kids up if they don't take advantage of it.
Yeah, the Yankees have made some changes on the roster as Steve Farr goes to the disabled list. As you mentioned, Sean Hillegas will get a start. As a matter of fact, he'll get at least two. Kurt Young will be with the ball club tonight, and Jeff Johnson goes to the bullpen for the Yankees for the foreseeable future. Tonight, Scott Kamenicki's on the mound. Tony, he does not have a win in his last 8 starts. I don't know if there's any consolation in this, but the fellow he's pitching against tonight, Nolan Ryan, went 11 starts without a win.
Well, Nolan Ryan has got to be a challenge for Kamenicki, even though he doesn't have to bat him. I think for Kamenicki, in any sport, when things are going wrong, you go back to the basics. I think it's time for Scott Kamenicki to get back to the sinker ball, one kind of curve and the changeup, not try and change speeds and throw 2 or 3 different kinds of curves, not mess around with 3 kinds of fastball. I think he should get 3 pitches down, build on them, and add as he goes along. But you can't master that many when you're a young pitcher.
Scott Kamenicki matched against Nolan Ryan tonight. We'll be back with all the action on the 4th of July following this.
The Bud Light Spotlight is on New York.
From the village of Harlem,
Amsterdam Avenue.
We like downtown.
Manhattan.
Columbus Avenue.
Westchester.
On the east side, we drink Bud Light.
The great thing about New York is we got it all.
Bud Light in New York.
Bud Light.
City Ball. What a lovely brand of beer you have here.
Bud Light es muy rico.
Bud Light for everyone on the house. What do you say? Hey!
Attention, it's Chevy Rock Solid Value Days. There's never been a better time to get a 92 Chevy S10 Blazer. The only full line of sport utility vehicles with the security of 4-wheel anti-lock brakes standard. Now get $2,000 cash back on S10 Blazer for the first time ever. Along with the biggest V6 on the road and most popular 4-wheel drive system, InstaTrack. Rock Solid Value Days. The right time to get Chevy trucks. The trucks you can depend on. The trucks that last.
The time has finally come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. Now you control the flow of paint. So the Wagner power roller can cut jobs in half. Smoothly and evenly, it can cover areas twice as fast. And cleanup is a snap. So you can finish one job and do another. Get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
At 7-Eleven, we look at convenience a little differently. Well, we know everyone is in a hurry these days. Well, almost everyone. What good is getting something fast if it isn't fresh? That's why our big bites are freshly grilled and our coffee is freshly ground. Which means you always get a fresh bite to eat without missing anything important. Well, almost anything. For guaranteed freshness makes a difference. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by
Budweiser, the king of beers, with that clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud. By nobody beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Center. For everything in home electronics, music, and movies, nobody beats the Wiz. By your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. And by AT&T, proud sponsor of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team.
It is a warm evening in Arlington, Texas, as the Yankees and the Rangers move into the second game of their series. Yankees winners last night, and in this season series, they are even against the Rangers in Arlington, 2-2, but overall a game under against the Rangers. They have won 3 and dropped 4 against Texas this year. 92 degrees at Arlington Stadium. It has been a breezy day, although that breeze is a bit warm. Watching them take batting practice, Tony, the ball is sailing out of here.
Well, we saw Roberto Kelly last night, several of the other outfielders really having trouble judging fly balls. If you hit the ball relatively deep in the alleys of the center field, it carries, but it seemed like right behind second base, the balls are getting held up, so the winding is it's swirling a lot.
The 4th of July, kind of a magic number in a lot of ways in the annals of baseball. Teams hoping to be in first place by the 4th of July, feeling that positions them, historically anyway, for a run at, if not a division title and ultimately a pennant. Well, it turns out to be that way more than half the time, but certainly no guarantee, as we watch Nolan Ryan, the 45-year-old right-hander, trot to the mound for the Texas Rangers. We have a full house to see the Yankees and the Rangers go at it tonight, and Nolan Ryan on the mound for the Texas Ball Club.
It's one of those days, not just because it's the 4th of July, but because who knows how long Nolan Ryan's going to be around. You just want to enjoy every time he goes out there. Remember that shortened start against the Yankees when he injured something. And look at the knee kick. Tommy House, the pitching coach, talking about this knee kick. He did not start the season with that high knee kick, but since he has been doing it, he's getting the ball up there 95 miles an hour at times. And, of course, he's got a great curveball.
And his numbers recently have been pretty good. He had trouble staying healthy and then had a couple subpar outings coming off the shelf. But recently he's pitched well, and the Rangers know that they're going to need him if they're going to make any kind of move in the Western Division of the American League in the second half. They have a rough way to go. They're going to spend a good part of the second half on the road.
Look at how he prepares. Nolan Ryan is checking to see if there are any wet spots in case he has to field a ground ball in front of the mound. He's checking everything out. He is very thorough.
Here's a quick look at the 7-11 starting lineup for the Yankees. Andy Stankiewicz leading off, followed by Mel Hall and Roberto Kelly. Don Mattingly fourth again. Tarnable in right. Kevin Moss the DH, with Noakes, Hayes, and Gallego rounding out the lineup for Buck Showalter. And the defensive setup for Texas behind Ryan tonight.
And boy, that has been troublesome. The kid catcher Rodriguez throws very well, but that outfield's made 21 errors. They hurt themselves in that area.
This game is underway. Andy Stankiewicz looks one on the right side foul, and the first baseman Rafael Palmeiro is there to make the catch.
You know, you were talking about Nolan Ryan and how important he is to this ball club, and their bullpen has been in shambles except for Russell, their closer. But if Nolan Ryan can give them a good second half, this team is only 4.5 games back behind Oakland and the Minnesota Twins. And with him pitching, and he could lead this staff and maybe stay in contention all year, because they're going to score runs.
They're going to need that because they spend a good part of the second half on the road. As a matter of fact, 40 of their last 68 games will be on the road this year. Here's Mel Hall, and he takes one wide, ball one. And Texas, over the past few years, the Rangers have had a tough time in the late stages of the season. They have not been traditionally a good second half team. 2 balls, no strikes the count. And a couple of the teams they're going to have to battle in the West, Oakland and Minnesota right now, tied for first ahead of Texas. 2 teams that have shown in the past they can surge and play well during the second half.
This heat may wear them down a little bit, but I think more than that, they just don't have depth over the last few years in their starting pitching staff. That looked like a changeup that he just threw Mel. His changeup is in the high 80s.
And you can see how effective it is because, as you pointed out, Tony, with that kick, he has been in the mid-90s, still at the age of 45. And with that great breaking ball. And does it again. And the count is 2-2. So he's had Hall out in front twice. Take a look at this pitch. Hall's reaction.
Well, when you're looking 90-plus fastball, you can see what the great motion of Ryan and the movement, tailing away, change of speeds.
A little close. So the count is full, 3-2.
Nolan Ryan has written a book with his pitching coach, Tom House, and there's Tom House who, in studying tapes and using a lot of computerized data with stick figures, found out that Nolan Ryan's head was going down to meet his knee. He had no velocity, and basically said when he stands straighter up and takes the knee and kicks it up and almost touches his chin, it was his proper technique. But then again, from all that aggressiveness with kicking the front leg, he had a little injury down there too from it. They had to devise a new training program for him.
Full count on Mel Hall. One out, bases empty. We have just started. Hall hits the dirt, and this one got Dale Scott. Wow. Scott is hit by that pitch. And he is limping badly.
They have protection all over the shin guards, a little metal plate on the top of the foot. Mel Hall skips rope. Rodriguez can't get even any part of the glove on it, and that hit Dale Scott as solid as it could.
So he's going to try to walk that off. Well, Hall escaped being hit, as you could see, but not the plate umpire, Dale Scott. Scott right now is thinking, why was it my turn to work the plate tonight? He was at first base last night. We'll see just the end of this pitch as it skips by Hall. Beneath Rodriguez' mitt. And it gets Dale Scott.
So Danny Wheat, the Rangers trainer, took care of Scott. It's going to be the most comfortable day to be behind home plate anyway.
So Mel Hall, who had 3 hits last night, is aboard here in the first with Roberto Kelly stepping in. Kelly at 290. Ball 1. Seven home runs, 43 runs batted in for the Yankees center fielder. A ball and a strike. Doesn't seem fair on some of those pitches. A couple of change-ups to Hall, and then this pitch to Roberto Kelly.
Look at Rodriguez with that great glove hand battling that last pitch.
And a popper on the right side. Palmeiro at first handles this one.
You know, on the center field fence right now, the sun is glaring. There's some white shirts out there on this very warm day, and the sun is flickering off the center field. So that is the background. Look at that little bright spot right on the lower fence, and all those white shirted fans out there. Try and hit Nolan Ryan coming out of that.
Well, this place seats 43,500 and change. And they have said that it was a sellout coming into this series. Don Mattingly up to 280 now. And the pitch is too low, ball 1.
So Nolan Ryan on the first pitch to Mattingly, an off-speed pitch, politicking with Dale Scott, the home plate umpire. He wants the pitch in that area. Gave him a little stare.
Mattingly lifts it into center. Ball will hang up and drift on Gonzalez a little bit to his right, but he makes the catch. And that retires the side. For the Yankees in the first, no runs, a walk, and a man left. Bottom of the first coming, no score.
Spotlight is on New York!
Oh, me?
New York! Hey! Bud Light, better than
Oh, you couldn't even think about it.
Bud Light, booyah for the 90s.
So what does it mean?
Down on Wall Street, gold is a big commodity, but Bud Light is better than gold.
I'll take 7 Bud Light. 7 Bud Light.
I'll take 2.
I don't know if you want that on film.
If you saw the Bud Bowl, Bud Light kicked butt. Love Bud Light. And New York, too.
With Matchlight, you get the best charcoal, Kingsford, with just the right amount of lighter fluid already added. That's why there's only one match for Matchlight. Matchlight from Kingsford.
The Yanks remain in Texas to battle Julio Franco and the Rangers after scorecard tomorrow at 8 here on MSG Network.
In Arlington, Texas, bottom of the first inning coming. The Yankees did not score in their first, left a man on, and send Scott Kamenicki to the hill, making his 12th start, 1-5 with an earned run average of better than 4.5.
His first start in June against Detroit was not good. His last start in June was not very good. His 3 middle starts, even though he picked up 2 losses and no decision, were really not that bad. He kept the Yankees in those ball games and showed a little bit better control.
And here's the lineup he'll face tonight. Brought to you by 7-Eleven. Franco leading off. He's the DH. Followed by Dean Palmer, who's been primarily out of the second spot. Almero third. Ruben Sierra in right hitting cleanup, followed by Gonzalez and Reimer. Rodriguez the catcher. Dickie Thon at shortstop hitting eighth, and Jeff Hewson, the number 9 hitter at second base. There's the Yankee defense for tonight's contest.
Which one of those will represent the Yankees in the All-Star game? In San Diego, Charlie Hayes hasn't done badly. Stankiewicz, Hall, or will it be Melito Perez?
You know, you can make a good case for Hayes and Hall because of the run production. Make a good case for Roberto Kelly, even Mattingly in a way, although but it'll be interesting to see who winds up in San Diego along with Yankee manager Buck Showalter. Here's Julio Franco, and he takes the first pitch. Too close, ball 1.
And that could be an indication of how much the Yankees have improved this year. Last year, at this time, you start looking for people to send to the All-Star game. It was difficult to find somebody. Scott Sanderson was playing well. Now you look, you're not having overpowering years, but 4 or 5 guys have chances.
Buck Showalter selected to be one of the coaches, first Yankee manager since Ralph Houk was selected as a coach on the All-Star squad. There's a strike to Franco. A little breaking ball that dropped over.
Franco's starting to hit a little bit. One of the primary principal things wrong with the Rangers offense has been his unavailability. He's been injured so much the last couple of days. He seems to be swinging the bat a lot better. So some line drives getting out to right field off his bat. He's still a pretty good breaking ball off-speed hitter.
And this one too close. So the count stands at 2-2. He has a couple of home runs, including the one last night, and both his home runs have been off Yankee pitching.
If Franco has to run, you will see how badly his knee still bothers him. Oh, my.
Very close. And Dale Scott says it's ball 3, full count. Take a look at this pitch again.
You know, Noakes was set up outside. The ball drifted inside. I guess it passed through the strike zone too high and maybe inside.
And a bouncer to short. Stankiewicz will handle this one. So an easy play for Andy Stankiewicz. You really could make a great case for Stankiewicz, although it would be unusual. His whole story has been unusual and a great one. You could make a case for Andy. The job he's done at short and in the leadoff spot, representing the Yankees.
Ripken's there, and Travel, of course, been injured a good part of the year with that broken foot. Fryman's done a good job and has got some good offensive numbers. But I would think that Tom Kelly, Greg Gagne possibility of being a free agent and having been kind of an anchor in the middle of that, that infield for him with 2 World Championship teams. Gagne may be the guy to go.
Dean Palmer, bouncing foul into the Yankee dugout, runs the count to 0-2. Look out down there. Melito Perez sitting. Got a win last night. That drove Mike Stanley to a new position on the bench. 2 strikes the count on Palmer, who, for one reason or another, has taken to the number 2 spot. He is, normally speaking, not the ideal number 2 man, but he has hit well out of that spot. A foul ball. Noakes could not hang on for the foul tip strikeout.
You don't see too many managers put a power hitter like this kid in the number 2 spot, especially a guy that strikes out this much. But the rest of their lineup has so much power after him. And Bobby Valentine hopes he will cut his swing down in that spot and maybe strike out a little bit less.
He fouls this one to the right side. Well, since he's gone into that second spot, he's hit over 300. Just under 250 for the year overall. And you saw just a moment ago that he leads the majors in strikeouts. There's Palmeiro, maybe showing some signs of coming around, but he's been in a mystifying slump in terms of his average. Palmer is out on strikes. So Kamenicki picks up his first strikeout of the night.
Scott Kamenicki needs no other curveball than this one right here. Left or right-hand hitters. That one that goes straight down, same speed. He doesn't have to throw it harder. And again, if he can retain the feel of that pitch and not change the release point, he's got a chance to wipe this team out, because they love to sit on fastballs with a couple of exceptions.
Palmeiro's average is up to 251, and boy, that seems strange.
People are saying he's trying to pull the ball too much, and he did that in '89, I believe, when they first got him. And Davey Lopes really had a lot to do with straightening him out. Got him hit straight away, where he had like 15 doubles to left center field that year. Now he seems to be in that 4-3 rut. Top-handed, try and pull. It's a ground ball to second.
1 strike the count on him. Well, the last time we were here, he was talking about the fact that he was out in front of everything, acknowledged that, knew it. To put it into practice was difficult for him to do, and it's strange when you've seen Palmeiro hit the way he has the last few years. He went around. Could not check, says Chuck Merriweather down at third, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Palmeiro wound up last year with 88 runs batted in. And as far as RBIs, he's just about on the same pace as he was a year ago. He has 40 runs batted in. Well, the average well off. Mattingly is going to handle this one unassisted. And it's a 1-2-3 first for Scott Kamenicki against Texas. At the end of 1 from Arlington, no score.
Icara Pizzeria traveled to the old country to bring back to Yardville the recipes for over 10 different mouth-watering gourmet pizzas. Experience Pizza Primavera, the old-fashioned tomato pie, country-style pizza, Pizza Verdi, and the list goes on. Icara Pizzeria, top-rated in Trentonian's Dining Guide. Bring in your cable bill for $1.50 off any large pie. Icara Pizzeria, where quality and tradition still counts.
Rock Dreams is Central Jersey's #1 dealer for name you can trust, Pioneer. Discover the magic of state-of-the-art audio components and speakers. Rock Dreams carries all the latest Pioneer video and large-screen TVs. If you're looking for car stereos, Rock Dreams' full line from Pioneer will blow you away. Rock Dreams always has thousands of CDs and laserdiscs for the best selection available.
I'm not crazy, I'm no whiz, but I got the best prices there is.
Total Living Comfort folks provide TLC for your home with a super high-efficiency central air conditioning system from Tempstar. Home comfort's as easy as TLC, and your Total Living Comfort dealer will provide professional installation and service for the comfort of your home. Let a Tempstar central air conditioning system bring you Total Living Comfort. Call your TLC heating and air conditioning dealer today.
Call Hummel Fuel for TLC.
TLC means Total Living Comfort.
Danny Tartable leads off the second inning against Nolan Ryan and takes one a little close right there, ball 1.
It's a familiar Nolan Ryan pattern. Pitches inside more effectively than any right-handed pitcher in baseball. It's conveniently wild at times.
Tarnable 1 out of 17 lifetime against Nolan Ryan with 8 strikeouts. This one is too low. A 2-ball, no strike count. I remember once when Sandy Koufax was pitching, Dick Groat said hitting against him was like going to the dentist.
Getting root canal surgery.
Boy. And you get the feeling that facing Ryan could be the same way.
Well, he has 3 quality pitches. I mean, the fastball no longer is recorded at 100 as it once was on more than one occasion, but it's still got great movement, terrific curveball, and he's come up with a great change.
Count goes to 2-2. And I think the point you made about Ryan being conveniently wild is one that has been valid for quite a few years. Early in his career and down through the middle, he did have a control problem. But if you look at his numbers over the past few years, Ryan has actually been a very good control pitcher and has been that way, well, dating back to the time when he went to Houston. About the mid-80s.
He has 5,577 career strikeouts. That leads all pitchers, and 2,700 and now 16 bases on balls.
He strikes out Tarnable.
That's the major league high also, the base on ball total.
You know, and most of those came in his early years. He had one year when he walked over 200 men. That's the year he struck out over 300 with the Angels, when he struck out 341 in 1977.
Look at the impact into Rodriguez, the young catcher's glove. Is a strong young man. You can see how he's trying to caress the ball and kind of gather it, and still some late movement. Sometimes he's still pounding his hand pretty hard.
Kevin Moss. This one high and foul, out of play down the right side. You know, just checking his numbers, Tony, since the strikeout of Tarnable.
Look at Rodriguez. Usually you try and hold that ball out in the corners. This kind of pulls his glove out of the strike zone.
He's gone 8 years, Nolan Ryan, walking less than 100 men. And in 5 of those 8 years, he's thrown well over 200 pitches. Now, prior to 84, he consistently walked at least 100, and as we mentioned a couple of times, over 200 men in one particular season. He changes speeds on Moss, so the count is a ball and 2 strikes. So at the later stages of his career, he really has become more of a pitcher, and control has been a much bigger factor in the success that he's had. A ball, 2 strikes to count to Moss, and Rodriguez will have to throw him out. Second consecutive strikeout in the inning.
How's that for a hook? There's no question that Nolan Ryan, he is the first to say it, genetically was gifted with a great body and a great arm. Some players charitably say he's kind of a freak. But I think what he has really done, his work ethic and his drive and his desire to keep going at age 45 is really what's kept him on top.
And he starts Noakes with a breaking ball for a called strike. So he's establishing that curveball early.
So quite a few change-ups already.
We've seen the change-up, yep. Quickly in front of Noakes. Ryan's in command here in the second.
Well, even in the prime of Nolan's career, and you saw him down at Houston when you were broadcasting there, sometimes it take him till the 3rd inning until he really start gaining the velocity. And there are times when in the 9th inning he would maintain and, you know, still be up in the high 90s with certain pitches.
Ahead of Noakes, 0-2. And he strikes him out. Ryan strikes out the side. Well, that was a clinic right there by the veteran right-hander. Bottom of the second coming. No score from Texas.
Let the games begin.
summer games. Look for details wherever you buy Budweiser, Bud Light, or Bud Dry. You could win $1 million in gold.
In our universe, there is always the unknown, the unpredictable. All we can do is prepare for it.
We actually have an air patrol watching over our cables. At AT&T, we go to great lengths to protect your 800 service.
Hello, 800 Flowers.
We can send flowers for any occasion, anytime, anywhere. But if our 800 service goes down, we're reminded that our business is very perishable.
AT&T is installing our new FastStar technology now to protect businesses. FastStar can detect a cable cut instantly and design a solution around it. 800 calls can get back in minutes instead of hours.
Dear Mom, I miss you. Love, Sally.
AT&T has the most reliable 800 service, period.
In this business, opportunity doesn't knock, it calls. And that's why we chose AT&T 800 service.
AT&T. Call us.
I just put NGK V-Power spark plugs in my brother's car. Go ahead and start it.
Not my car.
Start it anyway. Go ahead.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you in part by Wagner, maker of quality power painters, power sprayers, and power washers. We're through an inning and a half in Arlington, Texas. Ruben Sierra leads off the Ranger half against Scott Kamenicki. Misses wide, ball one. Boy, Ryan in the top half of this inning was perfect with his complete arsenal, Tony. And Sierra is out in front of this one, so Kamenicki changes speeds on him. The count is 1-1.
Yeah, Ryan got Tartable with a fastball, Moss with a curveball, and Noakes with a straight change.
Off the plate in. It's 2-1.
It'll be an interesting offseason. This free agent lists are now being looked over by some of the general managers in baseball. There's going to be some big names possibly on that list.
Sierra takes one the other way. Hall cuts it off on one hop. And Sierra, who had his 9-game hitting streak come to an end last night, singles his first time up tonight.
Good play by Mel Hall, holding him to a single. I don't know if that was supposed to be a sinker ball or if he threw a changeup upstairs, but that is not where you want to pitch many people on this team, because they like the ball up and out over the plate. Is that an unusual setup position with that front leg going well behind the back leg? Contrast that with Paul Molitor, who doesn't stride at all. Almost a negative stride, and look at Sierra's.
Now Juan Gonzalez. And it's high, ball one.
He really tore up the first part of June.
Boy, 18 home runs for the year. What did he have? 11 home runs in June?
Yeah, like they were like in the first 3 weeks of June also. He's playing with a little bit of a tender hamstring right now. Missed a couple ball games.
Sierra back in at first. And Gonzalez, with those 18 home runs, has just one in his last 11 games. Runner at first with nobody out. And there's ball two. 2-0. Take a look at the Mizuno home run leaderboard. McGuire 27, Deere 21, and Gonzalez, Canseco, who's on the shelf, and Tettleton each have 18.
Rob Deere, I think he still does have more home runs than he does singles. Isn't that freakish?
Yep. Kamenicki behind in the count to Gonzalez. There goes Sierra, and the pitch is a strike. The throw is not in time. Sierra steals his 8th base of the year. He is 8 of 11 running.
Kamenicki can have the high knee kick. Noakes goes down and gets a sinker ball. And Gonzalez up, hitting 5th, a little tender hamstring. Try and start a little activity. That's what Bobby Valentine's trying to do, and he just steals it as much on Kamenicki as it did on Matt Noakes. I think more on Kamenicki that time.
So the Rangers have a man in scoring position off the steal. And Gonzalez out in front. So we're seeing the effectiveness of changing speeds from both pitchers here in the first couple of innings.
Which once those pitches are established, and Kamenicki's doing a good job too, it makes a guy like Gonzalez very vulnerable high and tight out of the strike zone. He will go after bad pitches. He'll try and protect down and away.
A 2-2 count on the Texas center fielder. Kamenicki retired the Rangers 1-2-3 in the first. A little piece of that one foul. Scott Kamenicki against the Rangers.
Mark Connors, I'm sure, again, he did it with Jeff Johnson his last couple of starts. He's trying to get some of these pitchers less experienced than a Scott Sanderson, even Melito Perez, to start a ball game and establish something. Some area in the strike zone where a certain pitch you can go to when you get in trouble. Blowing away with the sinker, the change of the curve.
Blocked by Noakes. The count goes all the way to 3-2 on Gonzalez. This is the first time Kamenicki has faced Texas. So he might have a little bit of an advantage there, although all of these pitchers, as you know, are very well scouted. But still, that's not like actually seeing a pitcher for the first time. 3-2. And a fair ball down the left side. Extra bases for Gonzalez. Sierra will score to give Texas the lead. And Gonzalez will hold at second with a double.
When you pitch deep in the count, and Kamenicki, when 3-2, nobody out, he comes a little more to the center of the plate, perhaps even took something off.
50th run batted in of the year for Gonzalez on his 11th double.
Well, they've got a bunch of hitters in this lineup who love that high front leg kick, don't they? We showed you Sierra, Reimer does it, Houston does it. You just saw Gonzalez do it.
Now Kamenicki forced to come in on 3-2, touch for the double. Here's a dangerous hitter. 0 for his last 14, but he is strong. Ball one high.
I think after last outing, Kamenicki had one little extra on the mound the last time out when he lost his composure, when he didn't think he was getting pitches from the umpire, and perhaps he got another one before the game started. So I would think he will stay under control emotionally in this game.
1 ball, 1 strike. One game against the White Sox, he left trailing 5-0. Made 96 pitches in less than 4 innings and was charged with 5 bases on balls, as well as 5 runs on 6 hits.
There's no question about Kamenicki's stuff. Fastball's pretty lively.
He's ahead of Reimer, 1-2.
It's a matter of making quality pitches.
Against Baltimore, before the White Sox outing, he left trailing 4-2, but pitched pretty well in that game. 8 innings, charged ultimately with 4 runs, but threw the ball well. Trouble his last time against the White Sox. Two and two. Nobody out in the Texas second. Rangers have a run home. Gonzalez with a double drove home Sierra. And Reimer waits. And he's out on strikes. He was out in front. So Kamenicki, who in the past has thrown a good changeup, has Reimer out in front here.
Almost looked like a pommel. You see that shot from center field where those fingers fly up. It's a pitch that Jose Guzman last night, a real pure palm ball that he got a lot of his 12 strikeouts on.
So he got a big strikeout there of Reimer. Here's Rodriguez. Ivan Rodriguez, the young catcher, batting .290. Too low with that breaking ball.
What we've seen from Kamenicki tonight, you think the scouting report sent by Ron Hassey says that they're a fastball hitting club? Which when you get behind or pitch deep, you end up having to give them fastballs anyway.
Rodriguez sends one to deep center. Kelly back in front of the track for it, makes the catch. Gonzalez tags on his way to third and will make it standing up. So Rodriguez skies to center field for out number 2.
Number 10, shortstop, Yankees.
1 ball, no strike. Fastball upstairs near the middle of the plate. Gonzalez wisely tags up, picks up a base, and a deep fly ball.
Now Dickie Thon, the number 8 hitter, the shortstop in the batter's box. It's too high, ball 1.
This is one part that you don't want to pitch upstairs very consistently. Straight away the ball flies. It's not quite like Wrigley Field in the summer months where the wind's blowing out, but it can be close.
Thon had a hit last night in 3 official at-bats. The count is 1-1.
This heat still 91 degrees. A little humidity in the air, the wind, which used to be a negative factor for the hitters until they put those high billboards all around. Now the ball swoops down and takes balls directly out towards center field.
It creates a reverse current.
Yeah.
There's a strike. The count is a ball and 2 strikes. Thon 8 out of his last 19. Those are the billboards of which you speak.
Right above all those people, and you couldn't hit a ball out of here in center field unless you hit about 450, and then it was just barely make it. Now, as you said, what was the terminology? Reverse the wind currents?
Yeah, reverse current here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. It comes right over the top and then right back out again.
Well, you can stand around the batting cage in practice, see the flags blowing straight in center field, and the wind will be at your back like pushing you toward the pitcher's mound.
Run home, 2 outs, 2-2 the count, and Thon takes it the other way. That's a fair ball. Cardwell with the pickup. Thon headed for 2, and he's going to make it. Gonzalez scores to make it 2-0, and from the moment Thon made contact, he was thinking double on that liner toward the line and right.
And once again, Scott Kamenicki just showing each hitter too many pitches. It's not 3-2. It's 2-2 as it is today. So they've seen his changeup, his fastball, his curveball. He just hadn't gotten into the groove yet of getting ahead in the count with quality pitches and getting hitters out with 3 pitches sometimes, 4 at the most.
Well, we have seen Gonzalez and Thon, and even the ball that Rodriguez hit to center. When Kamenicki catches too much of the plate, a solid contact made against him here in this inning. Houston fouls one back, strike 1. Houston's average up to 265 on the strength of a 6-game hitting streak and an average of over 340 for about 3 weeks now. He's healthy, feels good. He'd had a lot of nagging injuries before.
It's that time of year where everybody starts thinking, boy, I can't wait for the 3-day All-Star break to recover. Al Newman now into the utility infielders, a little jam shot.
Thon is stealing third, and he's going to steal it without a play. Standing up. That's his 11th steal. He is 11 out of 12 running, and the second stolen base of the inning against the Yankees.
Kamenicki's so intent on just throwing a strike, and he basically just disregards Dickie Thon at second base.
1-1 to count. Houston down to first. Mattingly will make the play unassisted to retire the side, but the Rangers come up with a couple of runs in the second inning on 3 hits. They lead 1, and at the end of 2 from Arlington, Texas, Yankees trail the Rangers here on the 4th of July, 2-0. And a ground ball through the drawn-in infield. Kelly scores. Gallego digging for the plate. He's going to score without a play.
D&L Sound Studio at 1726 Genesee Street in Trenton carries a full line of audio equipment and alarms. D&L has stereos by Pioneer, Yamaha, Craig, and other major brands. Amps and speakers by MTX, Pile, and Earthquake. D&L can do a custom installation to get the most from your system. D&L now has Viper alarms to let your car speak for itself.
Protected by Viper. Stand back.
New at D&L, Street Glow Undercar Neon Lights. Whether your car is domestic, foreign, or exotic, do your car right with D&L.
Does your car interior look worn with age? Bring it to Rayco on South Broad Street in Hamilton. Rayco can reupholster the seats or do custom interior work to make the inside of your car look like new. Need a new vinyl top? Bring your car to Rayco. Rayco also replaces convertible tops, carriage tops, and Jeep soft tops. Bring your car to Rayco and find out why we say in, on, or under. Rayco's got you covered.
See the best show in Atlantic City, July 18th and 19th, the Atlantic City Air Show, featuring the biggest jet team in the sky, the pride of the Italian Air Force. You'll also see Team America, wild aerobatics, wing walking, military demonstrations, skydiving, and a special Saturday-only appearance of the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds, all at the FAA Technical Center, Atlantic City International Airport, July 18th and 19th.
Yankees are down by 2. We move into the 3rd inning in Arlington Stadium. Charlie Hayes leads off against Nolan Ryan. And the pitch to Hayes is a strike. Ryan struck out the side. Tartable, Moss, and Noakes in the 2nd inning. Now starts Hayes with a strike. One ball, one strike. Ryan lifetime against the Yankees, 12-8. He's allowed just 1 run and just 9 singles over his last 16 innings now. And Charlie Hayes chases one way upstairs. 1-2.
It's just about a month ago that Ryan started against the Yankees and had to leave early, and that's the game when Tommy House's pitching coach told him 2 days before his throwing day before that start, Nolan Ryan said, what is the fastest speed our speed gun has recorded anybody so far this year? April, May, and going into June. He said 97. Nolan said, well, I think tomorrow I'll just reach 97.
Strike 3 call to Hayes. Charlie tried to lay off the pitch upstairs this time, and it's a strike. Caught that corner.
I'll tell you what, Dale Scott is, if he starts giving those kinds of pitches to Nolan Ryan, it's going to be a long, long day. Still hang in there, Tom.
Yeah. Now Mike Gallego, look out.
Hit him with a breaking ball.
And it got Rodriguez on the deflection. See Gallego trying to duck out of the way of that breaking ball. I think, did it get Scott? It got all 3 of them, maybe.
It grazed near the elbow or forearm, then it catches the mask, and then it got the chest protector. That's how hard this guy throws. Went through 3 people. Mike is saying, boy, am I lucky. A curveball.
Absolutely. Here's Andy Stankiewicz. Look at that breaking ball over for a strike. Well, the Yankees have seen some heat from Ryan. They've seen the good curveball and the changeup through the first 9 hitters, and now Andy Stankiewicz hitting for the 2nd time in this game. Looks at a breaking ball to start this sequence. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ryan with one complete game this year.
He really still hasn't decided whether he's going to continue to pitch in the next year. He said he'll, the old start, take it one game at a time. If I feel good after this season, I may come back.
That's too low. 2-1.
For a while there, I thought he'd put a group together and go back to Houston by that ball club for Mr. McMullen.
Mm-hmm. And at this point, with this Texas franchise, he has, I guess, what amounts to a personal services contract to be involved in the front office of this club beyond his playing days. The count now goes to 2 balls, 2 strikes on Stankiewicz.
Nolan Ryan is not really the toughest guy to steal on. You can see with that high leg kick from the stretch, but when you think of his catcher, he will make up for a lot of that if you try a running game. He's throwing out more than 50% of those who try to steal on him. We're talking about Rodriguez.
2-2 the count. And Stankiewicz works it all the way to 3-2. It was Stankiewicz and Mattingly, as we look at Hall on deck, who faced Ryan in the other outing he made against the Yankees when he made just those 10 pitches and then left. He had that slight strain of the left hamstring. There goes Gallego, and a pitch hit on the ground off the glove of Palmer. That's going to be a base hit. Gallego made a big turn around second, but scrambles back into the bag, and the Yankees have 2 men on. The first hit of the ball game for the Yankees, and Andy Stankiewicz picks it up off the glove of Dean Palmer.
Terrific play by Palmer just to keep it in the infield with a runner going on 3-2. You don't expect many hitters to pull Nolan Ryan's fastball, and you can see Dean Palmer is off the line, and with the fastball sign, he's probably leaning to his left, and he makes a nice play preventing a second and third. And even at that, at the ball going to the corner, Gallego possibly could have scored. So Palmer did save Nolan Ryan a couple of bases.
Here's Mel Hall. Hall walked his first time, and it's too low. So after the strikeout of Hayes, Gallego hit by a pitch, and Stankiewicz has a base hit. Hall's had a tough time through the years against Ryan. Bounces this one foul. The count is 1-1. He's 2 out of 18 against him. One of those hits a home run.
Talked to Bobby Valentine if he will have a pitch count on Nolan Ryan. He said no. He said he's not going to throw 150, but he said we'll watch him and we'll monitor him. He will tell us how he feels. Buck Showalter hoping he's out of here very quickly, I'm sure. They want to get into that bullpen if they can. That is
that's been
a disaster area for the Rangers until they get to Russell.
2 balls and a strike.
I mean, they've run through a lot of pitches already this season. We're not even halfway home.
Yeah, over 20 pitchers. I think they've used, what, a total of 41 players with Don Harris coming up.
Yeah.
And I think, is it 20 or 21 pitchers?
Yeah, it was 20 the last time we were here, so I'm sure it's with Danny Leone, at least that.
Down the left side, a long run for Reimer, and that ball is foul and out of the reach of Reimer, who tried to make a sliding catch. Well, he's tough out there. He's a tough, rough and tumble outfielder, not known for his defensive work, but he's not afraid to crash the wall out there. He really, even though his father played professional baseball, in a lot of ways defied the odds of making it to the major leagues in Canada and regions where he didn't get a chance to play a lot of baseball. Two the count. And Hall,
that hack.
Hall looked as bad right there as we've seen him. And
wow,
that's what
right.
happened. Look at Hall saying, wow, that's unbelievable.
He swung at a fastball. Watch this. You talk about chopping down and buckling. To see a left-handed hitter do that off a right-handed pitcher is just showing extraordinary breaking pitch from Nolan Ryan. And when you get a chuckle from Mal Hall like that, oh,
Well, Hall gives him his due. You're talking about a good hitter here in Hall, and boy, when you're reduced to that, you got nothing left but to give the pitcher his due.
What you do is you get Al Trower to get a tape of that and have Mal Hall analyze that swing tomorrow. That ought to be that'll be some fun.
Roberto Kelly fouls one back, strike one.
That was almost like swinging a Charlie Huff's knuckleball, wasn't it?
Man. So 2 outs with 2 men on. Roberto under the 290 mark again.
You know, Roberto appears, since his average has been declining a little bit, he seems to be taking a little bit defensively. He seems to be playing more deeply than he did earlier in the year. You know, some balls are dropping in. He's trying those sliding catches. He's worried about his hitting, I think, and perhaps it's affecting him a little bit defensively.
See those numbers against Ryan, about the best the Yankees have to offer against Ryan in their lineup. Roberto Kelly, this one bounced foul.
There's a catcher's interference, I believe.
Yep.
It's going to get first base. Rodriguez was too close, beneath.
And that'll be an error to Rodriguez.
They're going to send Gallego to third.
Bases are going to be
second,
loaded.
And they're loaded.
The 7th error of the year charged to Rodriguez. Here it is.
He fouls it off, but he made contact with the glove. There it is. E2, catcher's interference.
Next batter, 40-yard
You see it better from this angle. You can see Rodriguez, instead of letting it come to him, he goes out and gets it. And it costs Ryan.
So that's an error charge to Rodriguez, and Roberto will not be charged with an at-bat due to the catcher's interference. Now here's Don Mattingly. So the Yankees have a shot here with 2 outs in the 3rd. Strike one to Mattingly. Rodriguez talking with the plate umpire, Dale Scott. He's got a running conversation going with him after that first pitch to Mattingly. Rodriguez, by the way, leads the American League in errors. This one, catcher's interference. Rodriguez held the ball there for Scott, and the count is 1-1. Only 2 of those errors you can see there on stolen base attempts.
At almost every base, you've got to be very aware of Rodriguez throwing behind you. He does have call plays, especially with Palmeiro at first base. He will sneak behind a runner.
1-1 the count to Mattingly. Yankees down by 2. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 3rd. 2-1. Yankees had a base runner in the 1st when Hall drew the walk. Now they're loaded. Gallego 3rd, Stankiewicz at 2nd, and Roberto Kelly on first base.
Ryan upset, walking around a lot, that he got behind Don Mattingly.
Two-1 the count. Here it is. Mattingly on the ground to first. Palmeiro will make the play unassisted to retire the side. For the Yankees in the 3rd, no runs, 1 hit out of that, an error, 3 men left on base. And at the end of 2.5, the score, Texas 2, Yankees nothing.
Every summer, there's just one day when you can cheer for the pinstripe heroes of today and yesterday. On Saturday, July 11th, it's the 46th annual Old Timers Day Classic, featuring the Upper Deck Heroes of Baseball. Ceremonies begin at noon with a Yankees-Mariners game to follow at 2. So come on out and relive the memories and make some new ones, too.
An AT&T gift from Nobody Beats the Wiz this year would give someone you love all the right answers for years. It could make things perfectly clear every day and bring smile after smile. And nobody beats the Whiz makes giving so easy. Right now, this AT&T Remote Answering System 1330 is just $69.98. And this AT&T Cordless Telephone 5320 is just $99.98. Remember, nobody beats the Whiz for an AT&T gift. It's a present with a future.
All right, here he goes.
He'll need a perfect 10 to qualify. Come on, son. And the dismount.
Here we go.
Oh, boy. He's young yet. He'll be back.
Can we get it there tomorrow?
With express mail?
Sure.
Count on Express Mail for your most important documents.
We deliver for you.
Slick 50 protects the vital moving parts of your engine for up to 50,000 miles. Slick 50 starting your engine with that is a terrible thing to do.
New York Yankees baseball brought to you in part by Chevrolet, the cars and trucks more people depend on. We went through 2 innings, a sellout crowd, including that young lady right there at Arlington Stadium. Crowd of better than 43,000 on hand. Here's Julio Franco. And the pitch is too close, ball 1. Bobby Valentine, the 41-year-old manager there, with his arms folded, talking with his young catcher, Ivan Rodriguez.
Gomez, the first base coach, also gets in on those conversations. Rodriguez speaks English fairly well. He likes to have Gomez around, somewhat of a mentor to him.
Gomez, the first base coach of the Rangers in his second year here. This one is down. And he's one of those fellows who stayed with the game a long time. Orlando Gomez. This is his 29th year in professional baseball. Took him 27 years to get to the big leagues.
He's probably more responsible than anybody else that Jose Guzman stayed with his ball club. Guzman was going to become a free agent because they did not protect him 2 springs ago.
Bunt by Franco. Boy, that's surprising, even though Hayes was way back. Franco's had the bad knee.
Yeah, they're monitoring that knee pretty well, too. One of the doctors, just I guess a couple hundred miles from here, is working with some Olympic athletes, said that if it starts getting stiff, they've got to get him out of the lineup. Otherwise, it could set him back days.
He went to Austin while he was on the disabled list and worked out, trying to rehab the thing. 2-2, and he skies it into right. Tartable is there waiting.
Well, I said a couple hundred miles away, but here in Texas, Austin could be
just around the corner.
Yeah, sure.
200 miles, that's nothing here.
Third baseman Dean Palmer.
Dean Palmer now.
This guy has one of the quickest bats through the strike zone that's come along in a long time. In fact, I think a lot of his strikeouts come because he waits so long, a little bit like Sean Dunston used to. And it's almost like a wild swing trying to catch back up to the ball. When he starts smoothing his swing out a little bit.
Back at third, look at this play by Hayes. And the throw too high, a base hit for Reimer. Boy, Hayes took a double away from Palmer and made something of a play at first out of that. Great stop by Charlie Hayes.
Well, what a great curveball he hit. Got over on the top of it, right down the line. On any of those off-speed pitches, usually it is the shortstop, Stankiewicz in this case, will give a verbal signal to the third baseman so he can protect the line. You're right, that is double written all over it. And Charlie's only chance was to lob it over and couldn't get it down to Mattingly.
Man, what a job.
Oh.
Charlie Hayes has turned in at third for the Yankees. Here's Rafael Palmeiro. Takes it the other way. Fly ball carrying deep to left, and Hall almost got turned around on that ball, but recovers to make the catch just on the track.
That's a Palmeiro type swing, though. Hitting the ball the opposite way, he gets that fastball. Even those fastballs inside, he's always hitting well the other way. We saw Palmeiro the first time up trying to pull a pitch, grounded out to the right side. That's more like his stroke. He's a little bit of a warrior, too, isn't he? You get the feeling from Rafael, even when he's with the Cubs, when they said he couldn't drive and run, they wanted him to pull the ball, take him away from his natural swing. When you're a lifetime 300 hitter, I guess it's easy to worry when you've been struggling for 3 months.
A ball, no strikes. It's so ironic that he would. A fellow with as great a swing as he has and the kind of success he's had in the past. Towering fly ball, not overly deep to center, as Roberto Kelly waits for this one to retire the side. In the third, no runs, a hit with one left. Al Trautwig will be coming along now. We're through 3 in Arlington. The Rangers lead the Yankees 2-0.
D&L Sound Studio at 1726 Genesee Street in Trenton carries a full line of audio equipment and alarms. D&L has stereos by Pioneer, Yamaha, Craig, and other major brands. Amps and speakers by MTX, Pile, and Earthquake. D&L can do a custom installation to get the most from your system. D&L now has Viper alarms to let your car speak for itself.
Protected by Viper. Stand back.
New at D&L, Street Glow Undercar Neon Lights. Whether your car is domestic, foreign, or exotic, do your car right with D&L.
Answer the call of the new Batman stunt show at Six Flags Great Adventure with explosive action, electrifying stunts, and all those wonderful toys. There's even the incredible Batmobile. All the greatest stunts Hollywood has to offer. And it's all right here at a theme park that's bigger than Disneyland and a whole lot closer. Six Flags Great Adventure and the new Batman stunt show. Nothing else comes close.
Car repair shops say they do it all. At Rayco, we really do it all. If you need brakes, a new muffler, shocks, or struts, no one's better than Rayco. Engine troubles are no trouble for Rayco's onboard computer. It will diagnose the problem right the first time. Don't overheat. Rayco's back flush system does more than the radiator. It flushes the entire cooling system. Rayco's complete car care includes custom interior work, seat covers, convertible tops, and sunroofs. Bring your car to Rayco and find out why we say, in, on, or under, Rayco's got you covered.
Back at Arlington Stadium, the Texas Rangers leading the New York Yankees by the score of 2-0 as Danny Tartabull starts it off against Nolan Ryan. Al Trautwig with Tony Kubek for the next 2. 64th strikeout of the season for Tartabull, first time up.
There was a time not too many years back where people thought the 5,000 strikeout mark was out of anybody's reach. Nolan Ryan, he pitches next year, might get 6,000.
Well, you watch him pitch a game
incredible.
like this, Tony, and you think there's no doubt he's coming back for next season. 5 strikeouts in the game so far. Well, we've got our shirt sleeves working. Temperature now very balmy, 91 degrees, Tony,
Perfect,
and it's
perfect for a ball game.
8:40 in the evening. Perfect for a ball game.
You spent your day at Wet and Wild, cooling down, so you come to the ballpark.
I did not. Never left the air conditioning.
It's a great area around here, isn't it?
You can keep yourself busy, that's for sure. Danny Tartabull sends a high fly ball to right field. Back is Sierra, and he grabs it for the out.
Those are the signs you look for when Danny Tartabull starts jolting with the ball opposite direction. That's where his home run went yesterday. That he is waiting on the ball and seems to have everything in sync. The timing is right. A little bit underneath this one, but still hit pretty well to Sierra. And hitting the fastball out over the plate in that area is another reason why Danny Tartabull is such a good breaking ball hitter. The fastball a little late, and he waits that split second to see what the breaking pitch is going to do.
That brings up Kevin Moss, who was another one of Nolan Ryan's strikeout victims in the game so far. That one drops off just outside. So you're producing the pregame show again, I hear.
Well, what I do?
What, Mel Hall, I'm supposed to now analyze his swing?
I just said it kiddingly. You can do whatever you want and do in your pregame show. Of course, you got Bob Page manager today.
No, I don't think Bob was mad. Bob was in the spirit of it. Hey, Tony, he's not even there tonight. Lisa Burkhart was there.
You'll get her tomorrow. I know you.
1 ball and 1 strike to Kevin Moss. I saw one of the Rangers executives there as it's 1 ball and 2 strikes before the game, Tony. He said, I've got Nolan Ryan against the New York Yankees on July 4th with fireworks after the game. If I can't sell this baby out, I'm quitting. Line shot to the glove of Palmeiro.
Every time Nolan Ryan makes the pitch he doesn't like, he gets disgusted. He really does show his emotion. That's a curveball he didn't think he had in a good spot. He perhaps wanted to bounce it. And it was hit like a bullet by Kevin Maas, but in disgust, Nolan Ryan walked off the mound. Even if you hit a ball solidly off him, he gets mad at himself.
And then after he showed that disgust, he went out, grabbed the rosin bag, and then really slammed it to the pitcher's mound. That's Matt Noak's turn now. He struck out as well for his 37th time of the season. Busts him inside, strike one. But Tony, you can see the smile of Mel Hall, the chatter in the dugout. You know, all the hitters take facing Nolan as an extreme challenge, and it leads to a lot of enthusiasm in the dugout from a hitting standpoint.
See if we can hear him grunt.
Foul back.
He grunts on his fastball, not the curve and the changeup. It's a little bit too late for the hitter to realize that.
Have you heard him grunt tonight yet?
Yeah, the pitch before that one that he threw to Matt Noakes, the fastball up and in.
He's like the Monica Seles of baseball.
She was kind of quiet today, though, wasn't she?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance to check. And Matt Noakes is 0 for 2. That is the 6th strikeout for Nolan the Legend. 2-0 Texas as they mount the K's on the board in Arlington.
Drive. It's what every Olympic athlete needs to win the gold. Now, you too can win at the Jeep and Eagle National Drive for the Gold sale. Save up to $29.75 on a rugged Jeep Cherokee. Get an Eagle Talent with up to $1,500 in cash back savings. Or get $500 cash back on a classic Jeep Wrangler. So hurry to the National Drive for the Gold sale and experience the thrill of saving.
There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers.
You can see it in their eyes. They're pushing to raise the benchmark of quality. And after 3 million miles of testing, the people of Exxon know Exxon Supreme Gasoline offers the highest level of engine cleaning, all for one reason. For proven high performance you can rely on.
Let the tiger set you free. Rely on the tiger.
Yankee fans, let Rickle take you to California in the Rickle Trip to the Stars Sweepstakes. Win a grand prize vacation for 4 to Disneyland to experience the newest attraction, Fantasmic. Somewhere between fright and fantasy. It's a sight and sound experience so extraordinary it can only happen at Disneyland. You'll fly nonstop to California on Delta Airlines to see the Yankees play the Angels, tour Paramount Studios, and attend the Arsenio Hall show. Runner-up prizes include tickets to a Yankee game. Stop by any Rickle Home Center today to enter. Remember, Rickle helps you do it better.
The Yanks remain in Texas to battle Julio Franco and the Rangers after scorecard tomorrow at 8 here on MSG Network.
Twilight in the Metroplex of Texas. Nolan Ryan talking to his young catcher, Pudge Rodriguez, after that last inning when Nolan Ryan struck out his 6th.
He probably said to me, look, that inning, thanks a lot for not getting me in trouble. In the 3rd, catcher's interference, he made me pitch to Mattingly with the bases loaded. Glad you're learning fast, Ivan.
Infield, it was an infield single. Somebody was hit by a pitch, and then catcher's interference that loaded the bases. As Juan Gonzalez, the powerful center fielder for the Texas Rangers, starts things off in the 4th inning. He doubled homer run back in the 2nd. Scott Kamenicki trailing 2-0. 4 hits for the Rangers. Scott says he loves to pitch when the weather is hot like this. And Tony, I don't know if you heard the story of Scott Kamenicki and what he told me before the game. And the first time he heard Nolan Ryan, he said it was one of those nights where I was laying in bed listening to Ernie Harwell call a Tigers game on WJR. And he said suddenly I started to listen, and it was the 7th inning, and the Tigers didn't have a hit. Then it was the 8th, and then it was the 9th, and it was one of those Nolan Ryan no-hitters against the Detroit Tigers. Early impact against a 9-year-old who hadn't even started playing competitive baseball yet, and Scott Kamenicki. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Juan Gonzalez. Is there anybody who's not doing the leg kick, by the way, in the Rangers batting order?
A lot of them copied Sierra.
Gonzalez with 18 home runs on the year. And he launches this one to center. Kelly gets a good jump. Boy, that was a rope. So we've got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Let's go to Lisa Burkhardt at the MSG Sports Desk for this update.
All right, thanks, Al. It's Shea. Bobby Bonilla, who went 2 for 3 in Game 1 against the Stros, hits one out in the bottom of the 4th of Game 2 off Mark Portugal. His 11th of the year. Bobby Bo ties it up at 1. They're now in the top of the 5th. Back to the Yankees.
From the Story in Flushing to the one in Arlington. Yankees trailing the Texas Rangers 2-0. 1 out, not 2. 1 out in the bottom of the 4th as we watch Kevin Reimer, who struck out his first time up. And I thought, Tony, he looked amazingly uncomfortable in his plate appearance. There's a fair ground ball, and Mattingly scoops it. Reimer's 0 for 2.
Who looked uncomfortable?
Kevin Reimer when he struck out his first time up.
Oh, yeah. I was just looking to try and document what Kamenicki said. That was in July 15th, 1973 at Detroit. Angels 6, the Tigers nothing. Good downward action on the breaking ball. You can see it kept biting. Noakes was going to almost dig it out of the ground. And try and keep the fastball away from Reimer, aren't they?
So, Tony, let me get this straight. You did not believe Scott Kamenicki's
No, I did, but I was just trying to figure out exactly when it was.
He even got his age right. He was born in '64, so he was 9 years old.
White Sox bullpen catcher Art Kushner caught that ball game.
By the way, speaking of catching no-hitters, Mike Stanley came to me before the game and was talking about his days playing here. He said, I may not have made a big impact, but I did a couple of things that'll never be forgotten in baseball. That is, hit the first pinch hit grand slam in club history, and the other was catch the 7th no-hitter for Nolan Ryan. That was May 1st, 1991, when Texas beat Toronto 3-0. Mike Stanley, now of the Yankees, caught that game. 2 balls and no strikes. Kamenicki against Rodriguez, coming back from a small fracture in his back. Well, it certainly sounds scary. You think you start talking about back fractures, you talk about missing an entire season. Here's Mike Stanley, once a Texas Ranger,
who said he learned a lot about catching and setting up hitters by catching Nolan Ryan. Yeah, last time we were here, remember, he left the ball. He'd hurt his hand and his back was bothering him. Went on the DL right after that.
Rodriguez gets underneath this one, and that's exactly what Mel Hall and Andy Stankiewicz are trying to do. Mel Hall finally does, and that'll do it for the Texas Rangers. A breeze of an inning for Scott Kamenicki. Sweaty Nolan Ryan will make his way to the mound in a moment.
At 7-Eleven, we look at soda differently. Take Bill Derflinger and Ed Mendez. We don't mind that they're doing a little reading on the job, because it takes guys like Ed and Bill, Bill's in the red shoes, to make sure our coolers are always maintained at 35 degrees. It's a little thing, but it makes a big difference for those who want their soda fast and cold. So if you open a cooler and see a couple of attractive guys like these, please don't whistle. It could throw them off. For 35 degrees makes a difference. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
New family members mean new responsibilities and new needs for life and health insurance protection. Why not drop in on your MetLife representative to help you figure out what's right for you and your family? Get Met. It pays.
Smile. Gotcha. Want a camera? Set your focus to the one-stop home entertainment center. Nobody beats the Wiz.
Pinstripes have been worn by some of the greatest in the game, and these guys want to add their names to the list. And now you can wear the pinstripes proudly, because on Sunday, July 12th, all fans at the stadium will receive a Yankees pinstripe cap, compliments of Gatorade. Get your tickets now for Yankee baseball, a tradition of great moments.
There was a bit of a hairy moment before today's game here in Arlington, Texas. You're in the Yankee clubhouse now, and there's Tony Kubek getting a haircut from Carl Taylor, Yankee bullpen catcher. Carl, of course, now a famous photographer and also the hair cutter of the stars for all the Yankees. How did he do, Tony? Did it come out nice?
You be the judge.
Did you tip him?
I told him just dab a little gray on the sideburns so I'm looking a little more distinguished like you. Hey, he and his wife have had a hair salon down in Florida, still do.
He was a hairstylist full time when Bucky Dent called and said, guess what? I'm the manager of the Yankees. How'd you like to come work for the club? And he did.
He's a great worker. Spent some time with Kansas City. In fact, one year he went to Pittsburgh and he was hitting .340. He couldn't win a job.
Couldn't get a job from Al Oliver that year. Charlie Hayes became the 1,151st different player struck out in the career of Nolan Ryan when he was first up in this game back in the 3rd inning. We're in the 5th, and that has fouled off the face mask of Dale Scott, who has taken a pounding in tonight's game.
How did you hear that, Grunt? That was the big fastball. They say keep the ball down. That is probably as safe as you can do, not when you throw the velocity of Nolan Ryan. Look at Rodriguez saying, shake me off one time, I'll come right back to the original call.
No grunt on the curve.
I just got mad he threw a ball. 1 and 2. Oh.
Pitch.
Oh.
Charlie Hayes is stunned.
Tell you what, that ball I think is inside. And he threw it so hard, and it was one of the hardest curveballs he's thrown. Charlie bails out. Now that's not a strikeout there, folks. Look at Rodriguez. Where he caught it was off the plate. So Dale Scott and maybe Nolan Ryan deserves having a charity his way at age 45. What the heck?
5,584 career strikeouts now as the all-time record continues to climb. And here's Mike Gallego, who was hit by Nolan Ryan. Last time up, it was really a glancing blow off his arm. He's hitting .258 now.
And in this ball game so far, to show you how Nolan Ryan thinks about firsts, only one of the hitters leading off this game thus far in the 5 innings has hit the ball fair off him. That was Tartable, who flied to right field in the 4th.
Come on, Nolan, you're looking good tonight.
You can see him release the huge grunt, at least facially there. We'll listen here. Yeah, you can hear it. Right after the release of the pitch. Of course, by then it's too late. The thing is already by you.
It's like seeing what the Rockets' red glare is like. Goes by like that.
Yeah.
You hear it more than you see it.
I didn't keep too many baseball cards from my early life. I kept about 15 or 20, but I did keep the Nolan Ryan rookie card, and that thing last time I checked was up around $1,500.
In the vault, I hope.
Yeah, it is. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mike Gallego. The mastery of Nolan Ryan over the Yankees on exhibit here tonight. Gallego couldn't catch up with it. That is 8 strikeouts now for Nolan Ryan. This after a game in which Jose Guzman struck out 12 Yankees last night.
Nolan struck out the side in the 2nd. Tartable, Moss, and Oaks on 3 different pitches. He's gotten the first 2, Hayes and Gallego, with fastballs. Listen to this.
There it is on the strikeout number 8. And now he faces at the top of the Yankee order Andy Stankiewicz. And there's another strike inside.
Tom House, his pitching coach, who's perhaps studied pitching more than anybody from the biomechanics viewpoint and all else, says it's just the perfect delivery.
Well, isn't that what all the computer analysis has done? They've put Nolan Ryan's motion, we've talked about this before, into a computer, and they've been able to analyze the stress points everywhere in the body as a result of what he goes through to pitch. And they've said through analysis of many, many pitchers that his is by far the best, reaching near perfect in creating stress-free pitching motions.
I think it was Georgia Tech University, quite a few years ago when Nolan was in Houston, and the great running back Campbell was there, the Houston Oilers. They tested a lot of Olympic athletes, lower body, and Campbell was one of them. And Nolan Ryan was one, and they did some very sophisticated testing, and they found out that his lower legs, the torque and all the other scientific technology or terms, created more power and force than any athlete they could test. And they were doing weightlifters, hammer throwers, discus throwers, football players.
Remarkable everywhere you look in his career. The 2-2 pitch. Stankiewicz sends it out to short center and left. Reimer coming in and grabbing it. The Yankees are gone in the fifth, but Nolan Ryan strikes out 2 more Yankees. He's totaling 8 now, and so he's got 5,585.
There is a sound that you can expect to hear on the new Riviera. It's the sound of German being spoken by those who now converge on Miami's legendary beach. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer on Ocean Drive, in America, and the world.
In 1990, TriStar Pictures and Carol Co. brought you Total Recall. In 1991, they brought you Terminator 2. This summer, it's Universal Soldier, the ultimate adventure of the future. Universal Soldier, rated R, starts Friday at a theater near you.
To get rid of her gray, my wife can spend 40 minutes. But I discovered the 5-minute hair coloring.
The revolutionary discovery called Just for Men from the leader in men's hair coloring. Simply apply Just for Men and in 5 minutes shampoo out.
Gray is blended away. The look of my natural color is back in 5 minutes. That was me, and it won't fade or wash out.
My hair takes forever, but you look great in just 5 minutes.
The look of your natural color in just 5 minutes with Just for Men.
Looking for a home center that's more your speed? Come to Rickel. We make everything easier on you and your budget. This week, all Millard bath accessories are 33% off regular prices, and a Grosflex Malaga low-back resin stack chair is only $6.43. So hurry to Rickel. Don't do it bigger, do it better.
New York Yankees baseball brought to you in part by your neighborhood 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. Well, it's America's birthday today, July 4th, of course. Most of the country off, and there's Dwayne Statz, who has gotten involved with one of the wilder ties you'll ever see. Dwayne purchasing that tie in Boston, in a very important city in American history, of course. And Mike Gallego grabs the first out off the bat of Dickie Thon. Hope you didn't overpay for that, Dwayne. You're not going to get a lot of usages.
Second baseman.
That'll bring up Jeff Houston, the second baseman for the Texas Rangers. Quick out for Scott Kamenicki. Rangers leading by a score of 2-0.
Hayes will come in tight. Houston does like the bunt. Charlie will try and take away the bunt down third base as Mattingly cheats at first base.
Kamenicki, after having a mild disaster in the second inning, only gave up an infield single, faced 4 batters in the third, then got the Rangers 1-2-3 in the fourth.
No question there are 2 different strike zones so far in this ballgame. Not that Kamenicki's had great control, but the strike zone for him is not as expansive for Nolan. And Nolan doesn't need as much as Kamenicki does. You can see that first pitch thrown, Noakes just held it there and held it there.
Overheard clubhouse comments this afternoon included Dale Scott being not so tough on the first and second strike, but a lot tougher on pitchers in making them earn the third strike.
He's too kind-hearted. He doesn't want to punch out those hitters.
And the walk, 4 pitches to Jeff Houston. So at 9 o'clock Central Time in Arlington Stadium in Texas, the sun is gone. The temperature is cooled to 91 degrees as we bring you game 2 of the series on MSG. And in the bottom of the 5th, with 1 out, the Rangers lead the Yankees by the score of 2-0. Al Trautwig with Tony Kubek. Dwayne Statz will be back next inning, of course. And you can see how hot it remains. Conference on the mound now. Matt Noakes with Scott Kamenicki and Julio Franco stepping in.
That basically is to settle Kamenicki down, to get him back in the game. He thought there was at least one pitch in the series to Houston that was in the strike zone. Good move by Noakes. Kamenicki had a modest streak of retiring 6 consecutively before that walk to the 9th place hitter.
Franco starting the last 4 games now as the DH after missing 5 due to the recurring soreness in his right knee. Houston back on the throw from Kamenicki.
And here's a guy who has a tremendous bat control, Franco. Houston's got a trace of speed, and with a bad leg, he does hit the ball on the ground. Will hit into a lot of double plays at times, so Houston getting a big lead off Kamenicki.
Just back is Houston. Rangers have been taking advantage of Kamenicki's slow delivery and Matt Noakes. They've stolen 2 bases in the game so far, both in the second.
He almost, well, what he did was he dove too soon. He was probably farther off than he thought. Usually it's like 1 step or 1 stride in the dive, and he took 1 stride in the dive and he almost didn't make it back.
First pitch to Franco, still not there. Back in the second inning, Rafael Palmeiro, actually it was Dickie Thon, stole third without even drawing a throw. Franco still waiting for his first pitch, and Matt Noakes wants to go out to Kamenicki. Tony, you think he's saying let's concentrate a little bit more on the hitter and don't get so distracted, or?
Yeah, I'm sure that's part of it. You know, you want to throw over there, throw over a couple times, and perhaps Noakes did not call that pickoff move over. He might have called a pitch out. Say, we threw over a few times, now we'll pitch out, and Kamenicki may have gone over, because after Kamenicki snapped the ball over, he disgustedly almost threw his hand down that he may have missed something.
First pitch to Franco is a ball, 1-0. You saw a brief look at Buck Showalter there. Buck has been wearing his warm-up jacket all season, but the heat of Texas made that a bad move, so because he doesn't like to wear the uniform top, had to dig out an old Yankee dark blue top. It becomes almost a trivia question, Tony. What number is Buck Showalter on the Yankees? Because fans never get a chance to see it. Runner holding on the pitch, and it's a strike to Franco, 1-1.
What is it? And why doesn't he like to wear it?
I had to think about it. He's number 11. He just doesn't like it. But you never see it.
I would think right around the All-Star break, Buck's going out there, thereabouts. You might hear about an offer and they've been giving him to extend his contract. It'll be about that time.
It's about time. Actually, it's much later than about time.
You know, perhaps next week, or at least some preliminary talk should begin shortly if they already haven't. With Commissioner Fay Vincent, perhaps this next week. I'm sure George Steinbrenner knows at this point what his decision is and when he will be back, but I'm talking about making it public. We'll see some things start moving into action.
Well, if you develop valuable players and when they become valuable, you like to keep them. Same thing with managers. You develop somebody and when they become valuable and noticed, as Buck has become with his placement on the All-Star coaching staff, you have to take steps to protect it.
How about the way Tom Kelly asked Buck Showalter if he'd come to the All-Star game? That's a cute story, isn't it?
Called Buck into the laundry room, I guess, at the Metrodome, and as he chomped on a cigar and sat there with his old fishing cap on, just said, you know, Buck, you don't have to tell me now, just think about it.
Low-key style of Tom Kelly, huh?
Slow roller, Stankiewicz to Gallego, and Mattingly gets back on the bag, did he?
You bet.
He got it.
Pretty good pivot by Gallego. The ball was hit so slowly, and because of Franco's knee was so bad, Gallego got upended, but still got a throw up.
All right. Kamenicki survives the fifth, so have I. I'll see you in the post-game report. Dwayne Stats back with Tony in a moment. Let's go to Lisa Burkhardt at the MSG Sports Desk in New York.
All right, thanks, Al. The Mets now in the bottom of the 6th inning in Game 2 of their doubleheader with the Houston Astros. The score still tied at 1 apiece. Bobby Bonilla with a solo homer in that one. Meanwhile, in Game 1, the Mets beat the Astros 5-3 thanks to another Bobby Bo home run that locked it up. July 4th holiday might have been too much for some fans. Bottom of the 8th when Bonilla takes Al Osuna deep to left center, 407 feet, his 10th of the year, and the Mets take it 5-3. Jeff Innes with his first save of the season. Doc Gooden got the win and is 6-7 now on the year. If you missed it from earlier, the Yankees put reliever Steve Farr on the disabled list with back problems and called up Kurt Young. We'll be back.
Sports Desk is brought to you by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Centers. For everything in home electronics, music, and movies, nobody beats the Wiz.
When you think of Nobody Beats the Wiz, you think home entertainment, right? Well, think again. Nobody Beats the Wiz also carries a wide selection of home office equipment. Personal computers from Wang, Epson printers, Xerox copiers, Panasonic fax machines, Brother word processors, telephones, and much more. All the top brands at the right prices. So organize your life at the not just the home entertainment center. Nobody beats the Wiz.
Three-time Wimbledon champ Steffi Graf is now a four-time champion after surprising Monica Seles today in the finals of Wimbledon in straight sets. In the men's semifinals, Croatia's Goran Ivanisevic oust American Pete Sampras in 4 sets to gain his first Grand Slam final, while 12th-seeded Andre Agassi eliminates New York's own John McEnroe. That's the news from the MSG Sports Desk. We'll see you after the game for our half-hour edition of Sports Desk. Now let's send you back to the Yankees.
Rain stats, Tony Kubek back in Arlington. A wonderful 4th of July with the Rangers leading 2-0 behind Nolan Ryan in this date in Yankee history. Toyota brings it to you. 1983, Dave Righetti no-hit the Red Sox 4-zip at the stadium. The first Yankee no-no in 27 years. This is Toyota's date in Yankee history. Toyota. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Mal Hall, Roberto Kelly, Don Mattingly. Hall walked in the first. He struck out on a wicked curveball in the third. Nolan Ryan has allowed just 1 base hit through 5, has struck out 8, an infield hit to Andy Stankiewicz. That came in the third.
And Tony,
1-1.
Since he made that start against the Yankees and threw only 10 pitches and had to leave, he's made 4 starts. He's pitched pretty well, just 1 win, 2 losses, and a no decision. But I can't imagine that he's thrown the ball any better at any time this year than he has tonight.
Foul out of play, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mal Hall. Well, when Nolan Ryan was in that string of was it 11 consecutive decisions without a win?
Yep.
He felt that there were times in there he was pitching well till he recently got that decision. In fact, he compared it to a year you probably saw when he was at Houston, because you were the Cubs then.
Yeah. When he went 8-16 one year with Houston.
He led the league in ERA.
Yep.
It was 8 games below 500. Hall grounds his sinker ball to Palmeiro. There is 1 out in the 6th.
But tonight, out of Ryan, we've seen the hard stuff. I can't imagine that he's thrown a pitch any harder than he did the first pitch to Gallego in the 5th inning. He just blew the ball right by him. And then we've seen the changeup and a good breaking ball.
He struck out the side in the 2nd, which helped along with his 8 strikeouts in this ball game. Now 5,585, and every time he gets another K, he increases his hold on the all-time record. One of those he'll probably say, like Gehrig's, like Joe D's 56 straight, will never be broken. Roberto Kelly is fouled out and on with catcher's interference. That's when the Yankees mounted a threat. With 2 outs and 2 on, Roberto Kelly's bat was tipped by Rodriguez and loaded him up, and then Mattingly hit the ball fairly hard but grounded to first base and left him loaded. Right on the outside corner to Kelly. No balls, 2 strikes. Ryan started this game with a lot of change-ups and curveballs, and he's gone more to the fastballs as he's going through the Yankee lineup for the 3rd time.
just did to Roberto Kelly what he did to Mel Hall earlier in this game when he struck out Hall with a curveball in the 3rd inning. And boy, he makes Roberto Kelly look as bad as he looked all year.
The only thing that's more painful about this to Roberto, it's about as weird a hack, as funky a swing as Hall's, but it's a little more terrorizing because it's a right-hander who starts the curveball right into your noggin.
Yeah.
At least Mal Hall, the curveball started out over the plate. 2 outs for Mattingly. He is flied out and grounded out. Out in front on a change. I remember the rigorous training regimen that Nolan Ryan had when he was in Houston. The Dr.
Gene
Coleman, who from the Nassau program set up a specific training program for Ryan, training in the pool, and a lot of other things. Fouled off. Mattingly couldn't catch up to it. 2 strikes.
You know, early in his career, he had a lot of hamstring problems. He had a history of pulled and strained hamstrings, and that was one of the reasons Dr. Coleman designed that pool work for him. He was out with a hamstring injury, wanted to maintain his cardiovascular, and found that he could do it in a pool, and from there they built an entire program around that.
He gets Mattingly, so he now has 10 strikeouts. Give Rodriguez an assist and Palmeiro a putout. So Ryan in the 5th and 6th has struck out 4 of the 6 batters. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. A very, very dominating Nolan Ryan. 2-0. He's got a lead.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Drive. It's what every Olympic athlete needs to win the gold. Now, you too can win at the Jeep and Eagle National Drive for the Gold sale. Save up to $29.75 on a rugged Jeep Cherokee. Get an Eagle Talent with up to $1,500 in cash back savings. Or get $500 cash back on a classic Jeep Wrangler. So hurry to the National Drive for the Gold sale and experience the thrill of saving.
There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your tri-state Jeep and Eagle dealers.
You've driven these streets 1,000 times. But tonight, there's something different. Tonight, you're using Exxon 93 Supreme gasoline for a cleaner engine, smooth acceleration, and a full 93 octane.
Let the tiger set you free.
Rely on Exxon Supreme.
Rely on the tiger.
There is a sound that you can expect to hear above the music. It's the sound of German being spoken by those who bring their passion for life to places like these. Beck's, the #1 imported German beer in your town, America, and the world.
With Matchlight, you get the best charcoal, Kingsford, with just the right amount of lighter fluid already added. That's why there's only one match for Matchlight. Matchlight from Kingsford.
Palmer.
Back at Arlington, it looks like a full house. Looks like some standing room. 4th of July, there'll be some fireworks. Great pregame display, and Nolan Ryan struck out 10 Yankees. Dean Palmer, Rafael Palmeiro, Ruben Sierra. Palmer struck out against Kamenicki in the 1st off a curveball, and he's also singled. Nice play by Charlie Hayes, prevented that from being a double. So it'll be chopped foul. 2 strikes. The 2 Rangers runs, the only 2 runs in this ballgame came in the 2nd. Sierra a single, Gonzalez a double. Reimer struck out, Rodriguez flied out, Dickie Thon then doubled home the 2nd Rangers run. Breaking ball misses away, 1-2. Really, that's the only rough inning, the 2nd that Kamenicki has had. He has allowed just 1 base hit and a walk aside from the 2nd. Sometime against a Nolan Ryan, that might be enough. Curveball misses up and in, 2-2. Well, Kamenicki now trying to finish Dean Palmer off. They're going 0-2. It is the 4th sellout of the season here in Arlington, 40,726. Full count, he missed with a slider. A lot of bleacher seats here. In fact, one of the reasons why they're building a new ballpark, and it was passed very easily, all those seats out, about half the total capacity are bleacher seats, from foul pole to foul pole. So when they get those skyboxes going and do a job in selling those to the industry down here.
Kamenicki is trying to regroup right here. He didn't like the idea of walking the leadoff man here, and I think a couple of times during the sequence of pitches to Palmer thought he might have had a strike. So he's trying to bring himself back on track here and not let the disputed calls distract him.
How many times have we talked to Mark Connor about Yankee pitchers finishing off hitters? He had Palmer, no balls, 2 strike, who has a very high strikeout total. He could not put him away. Curveball strike to Palmeiro. He's lined to left hard near the warning track and grounded to first. Bobby Valentine put Palmeiro in the 8th spot for a couple of games, and Rafael was very outspoken about it. Got in the media that he didn't think it was a good idea that Bobby Valentine should give up on him when he was struggling. Out in front, Tardible may have a double play. If he had not slid, I don't know if the ball got in the lights that he had to protect himself and go down. He makes a sliding catch. That has become a very popular play for Yankee outfielders, except for Mal Hall.
And unless you have to do this, there's really no point in it, because it doesn't leave you in much of a position to make any kind of play. And you can see Palmer well off the bag at first, and he's a cinch double play if Tardible can catch the ball standing up.
Somebody, World War II model airplane just came shooting out, point first behind Tardible. Ruben Sierra, he single, stolen the base, scored a run and flied out.
There's the plane.
That outfield is still soft. We were here a month ago with all that standing water around. Very, very wet spring down here. Dale Scott gives the outside corner at the knees to Kamenicki on that pitch to Sierra.
Tony, and as a result of that, as you look around the edges of the infield on the grass part here, it is not in as good a shape as it usually is. This is one of the infields that most players like in the major leagues.
Yeah, Jim Anglia, the groundskeeper who came from Cleveland several years ago, really has a great field here. But, you know, you get that combination of too much water, then all this heat, and the grass can become diseased. And it's always been a very smooth infield.
Infielders look for consistency in the dirt part. And generally speaking, they've gotten that here.
A ball and a strike with 1 on and 1 out, and the Rangers leading 2-0. Kamenicki's taking a lot of time now.
And that's another thing that Mark Connor discourages. He likes
T-shirt.
Yep. He likes to emphasize working quickly,
keeping the ball down and changing speed. He's got written all over those pitchers' T-shirts and his own. Fly ball, short left field. Stankiewicz in pursuit. He will have it after a long run battling that swirling wind. So Palmer will hold at first base. There are 2 outs.
It's a nice play by Stankiewicz, who covers a lot of ground going out into left and finds himself in a little bit of a tough angle here because of that wind.
You get those sluggers like Sierra for that great opposite field power, gap powers to right, left, center field. Mal Hall bunched him to the middle, and he was playing very deep. Now it's Juan Gonzalez. He's hit the ball hard twice. You can see where Hall and Kelly have gone with 2 outs and the man on first. Take away the long hit and prevent that runner from scoring from first. We don't know if all the throws from Kamenicki to first base are being called from the bench through Noakes, or if he's doing it on his own. Got it. Well, that hit his back. That's something very hard. Trainer Danny Weed out again. Fastball that just kept following Juan Gonzalez.
Here it is. It's been a tough night around that plate for hitters, catchers, and umpires. Dale Scott's gotten a couple of shots back there, and this one riding up and in. Juan Gonzalez got him.
You know, unfortunately, I think he got that hand off the bat, so he couldn't get it pinned there. Trying to protect himself. Kamenicki already has established a reputation of pitching hard inside. Remember, he was on the mound with Buck Showalter and Tony La Russa. Willie Wilson was very vocal. And they met behind home plate. A strike to Kevin Reimer. Fouled off. He struck out on a changeup and grounded to first. There are 2 down.
He was looking for something off speed on that first pitch, trying to wait, and waited too long. He's been struggling a bit lately, 0 for 16.
Another off-speed pitch. Kamenicki's got him 2 strikes. They will send the runners back as a foul tip.
It is that big leg kick by Reimer and that breaking ball darting down. And Reimer just got a little piece of it.
He's throwing some of his best curveballs with that downward action to Kevin Reimer. Boy, that left-hand hitter, he gets on top of it. See if he can finish Reimer off with 2 outs and 2 on. He got him. He backdoored a breaking ball. Noakes held it on the outside corner, framed it nicely. Reimer didn't like it. He leaves to stranded after 6 here at Arlington. Kamenicki starting to pitch a lot better. 2-0 Rangers.
Icara Pizzeria traveled to the old country to bring back to Yardville the recipes for over 10 different mouth-watering gourmet pizzas. Experience Pizza Primavera, the old-fashioned tomato pie, country-style pizza, Pizza Verde, and the list goes on. Icara Pizzeria, top-rated in Trentonian's Dining Guide. Bring in your cable bill for $1.50 off any large pie. Icara Pizzeria, where quality and tradition still counts.
Rock Dreams is Central Jersey's #1 dealer for name you can trust, Pioneer. Discover the magic of state-of-the-art audio components and speakers. Rock Dreams carries all the latest Pioneer video and large-screen TVs. If you're looking for car stereos, Rock Dreams' full line from Pioneer will blow you away. Rock Dreams always has thousands of CDs and laserdiscs for the best selection available.
I'm not crazy, I'm no whiz, but I got the best prices there is.
Total Living Comfort folks provide TLC for your home with a super high-efficiency central air conditioning system from Tempstar. Home comfort's as easy as TLC, and your Total Living Comfort dealer will provide professional installation and service for the comfort of your home. Let a Tempstar central air conditioning system bring you Total Living Comfort. Call your TLC heating and air conditioning dealer today.
Call Hummel Fuel for TLC.
TLC means Total Living Comfort.
Tickets for all Yankee home games on sale at the Stadium Advance Ticket Window, Monday through Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 5, and at the Yankees Clubhouse store and at all Ticketmaster locations, including select Video Connection stores. To charge tickets, call Ticketmaster 212-307-1212. The 46th Annual Old Timers Day Classic coming up Saturday, July the 11th. Breaking ball upstairs to Danny Tartable. Stays inside. Ball 1. Tartable is nothing out of 2. Included among the 10 strikeouts posted by Nolan Ryan tonight, the 214th time in his career that he has struck out at least 10 in a game. This one fouled out of play. So the count, a ball and a strike to Danny Tartable. Danny will be followed by the Yankees designated hitter Kevin Moss and Matt Noakes, with Texas leading this game 2-0. Both runs came in the second. Tartable went, says Ted Hendry, trying to hold up, and now Tartable's behind on the count 1-2. Here's another look.
One of the least pleasant things, that could have gone either way, I guess, is for a hitter to come up after one of Nolan Ryan's players has been hit. We're going to start bailing a little bit, as he will protect his own. It probably isn't the situation right here. Leadoff hitter, 2-0, but he is going to protect his people.
A ball, 2 strikes. He has walked only 1 tonight. That was Mel Hall in the first inning. Tartable held up this time. So they all even out, I guess, and the count is 2-2. Borderline call. Yes, one time. Nope, the next time. Here's another look.
20-year-old Ivan Rodriguez learning in a hurry. Immediately tags him, tries to buy the call.
The 2-2. And a tap to the shortstop, Dickie Thon. Over to Palmeiro, and that's the first out in the Yankees' 7th inning. One gone with nobody on as we take a look at the Budweiser game recap. A Gonzalez double in the second inning made it 1-0, and then Thon's double chased home the second run. On the Budweiser game recap, the Rangers lead the Yankees 2-0.
Dwayne, you probably know Nolan Ryan as well as almost anybody in this ballpark. You know, does he ride horses a lot? Is he a horseman?
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
I'm just wondering, and he's probably done it as a kid on Katie. I wonder if he's a strong guy, and I wonder just holding horses like he does. That had a lot to do with strengthening his hands, and he can put that spin on the curveball. I remember always talking about Ted Williams, though, he used to fly fish, and so that helped his wrists and his hands to strengthen them for hitting.
A ball, no strikes to count to Kevin Moss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, he's always been a fellow who's worked at.
Yeah.
I mean, if you work a ranch, and this is not a gentleman farmer.
Oh, no.
In Alvin, Texas, he has cattle, and he's right there. And
he's probably wrestled a few steers to the ground and taken a few cows and branded them and flipped them over. He's a strong guy.
A ball and 2 strikes. Well, he's been involved in the calving process and all that, and for someone who's directly involved in all of that, that's a physical activity. And Ryan has done that year in and year out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one foul. Speaking of branding, they have the Cattlemen's Association Museum here in Fort Worth, and in that museum they have a listing of all the major cattle ranchers and their brands. Included in there, the N-Bar R brand belonging to Nolan Ryan.
Not the Triple K Ranch?
Nope. This one foul the other way and out of reach. So the count is still a ball and 2 strikes. Too many strikeouts. There's Jeff Johnson.
All of a sudden, the Yankees are back to 3 left-handers in their bullpen. Johnson, Cataray, and it's Kurt Young.
Young was supposed to be here about 8:30 tonight, so until we see him, we don't know for sure that he's here, but he was supposed to be in. That's right, the Yankee bullpen full of lefties again. In case you missed it, Steve Farr has been placed on the disabled list. Count goes to 2-2 on Moss. Farr on the DL.
How do you throw a ball by this kid? I guess it's just too high. He couldn't get at it. He is so quick behind home plate.
And Moss out on strike. That's number 11 for Ryan. Boy, Ryan, the way he has changed speeds tonight. He had a great fastball, great curveball, and then the change.
Just turns that change over. Looks like a screwball. Watch the power when he drives toward the plate. First of all, that high front leg kick. Look at the action of his back leg going. And he drops and then drives. Ooh.
Here's Matt Noakes. Noakes swings over this one. Noakes has struck out twice tonight. Hall once, Kelly once, Mattingly once, Tarnable once, Moss twice, Noakes twice.
Leadoff hitter's the only one he had
Hayes twice, and Gallego once. 2 strikes the count on Noakes, and Andy Stankiewicz, who has the only hit off Ryan. That base hit in the 3rd, the only Yankee hitter not to strike out tonight so far. And Noakes is down in the count, 0-2.
What are the odds of having 3 pitchers come through the same organization with longevity that Ryan, Seaver, and Kuzma have?
And a fastball. Wow.
Oh, boy.
He threw that one by him, and that gives him a dozen. And as he walks off the mound, the crowd at 40,000 plus on its feet. 2-0 Texas. Nothing Texas.
Let the games begin.
Play the Bud Summer Games. Look for details wherever you buy Budweiser, Bud Light, or Bud Dry. You could win $1 million in gold.
Columbia Pictures presents a comedy about small-town girls.
They'll pay you $75 a week.
We only make 30 at the dairy.
Well, then, this would be more, wouldn't it?
With big league dreams. 2 thumbs up for A League of Their Own, say Siskel and Ebert. It's hands down the best movie of the summer. Tom Hanks is hilarious. Gina Davis is a delight. And Madonna is marvelous.
Way to go, whatever your name is!
A League of Their Own, directed by Penny Marshall, rated PG. At theaters now.
Smile. Gotcha. Want a camera? Set your focus to the one-stop home entertainment center. Nobody beats the Wiz.
All right, here he goes.
He'll need a perfect 10 to qualify.
Come on, son.
And the dismount.
Here we go.
Oh, boy. He's young yet. He'll be back.
Can we get it there tomorrow? With express mail?
Sure.
Count on Express Mail for your most important documents.
We deliver for you.
We're in Arlington, Texas on the 4th of July. Full house at Arlington Stadium. Fans enjoying their holiday.
Off for the Rangers, catcher, Pudge,
And some of the baseball birthdays on the 4th of July, starting with Mickey Welch, 1859, but then into this century, Bill Tuttle, the outfielder, Chuck Tanner, Hal Lanier, Ed Armbruster, Jim Beatty, now active Jose Oquendo, and Rick Wilkins, and of course George Steinbrenner, the principal owner of the Yankees. Ivan Rodriguez goes after the first pitch and lifts the fly ball directly to Mel Hall, who didn't have to move a step. And Rodriguez is 0 for 3. One gone in the 7th.
Been a great learning experience tonight for Scott Kamenicki. Had just the 1 rough inning in the 2nd.
Yeah, he's given up just 4 hits, and those 2 runs coming in the 2nd. And 3 of those hits occurred in that frame. There's a ball to Thon.
Tough ballpark to pitch in. The ball carries very well. Tough lineup to pitch in. Scored more runs last year, this Rangers team, than any other team in the major leagues.
That 2-ball, no strike count. They've had a problem, the Rangers have, functioning on all cylinders this year. There's a hard hit ball into left by Thon. He'll make the turn, and will he challenge Hall? Not this time. Thon, who doubled up the right side in the second inning, holds on with a base hit here in the seventh.
Second baseman, Jeff Houston.
Dickie Thon goes up and get this one. A four-seam fastball. Hooks it right over the top of Charlie Hayes. We see some action on the base paths here. I guess we're going to see some throws from Kamenicki to first. That's been his pattern.
And there's a beach ball loose in straightaway center field right now. This far from the coast, kind of strange to see a beach ball. In Los Angeles, I can understand it. They come right from the beach in a day of surfing to the ballpark there. I guess they could surf down the Guadalupe River here and bring one of their beach balls in.
Or that river they're going to create out in center field, the new ballpark. They're going to have a river walk there, create 2 artificial lakes, and have a river alongside a Little League field there. A lot of other niceties for the fans in a few years.
Jeff Houston up there. And the pitch is a strike. He walked in the 5th, grounded out his first time. He's had a little hitting streak going for the last week or so, a 6-gamer. He has a man at first and 1 out with Texas leading the Yankees 2-0. Thon, the base runner. He's leaning a little bit, started to go and stopped, and the pitch just missed.
Kamenicki froze him a little bit. It looked like something might have been on, but Scott held the ball, but also he lost sight of the strike zone too.
Kamenicki up around 90 pitches right now. Thon is back in. Yankees have had the left-hander Jeff Johnson up in the bullpen. He's been dropped from the rotation. Johnson has, and Sean Hillegas will go into the rotation and pitch on Tuesday.
Sounds like Hillegas is going to get 2 starts before the All-Star break, so they can take a good close look at him.
This one is a little low. 2 balls and a strike.
Those last 2 pitches, Kamenicki worried about Thon, rushed his delivery to home plate. Again, that gets you a little deeper in the count.
Top of the order, the DH Franco stands on deck.
Good running count.
Thon back in, standing up. Rangers have a couple of steals tonight. Like their runs, the stolen bases also came in the 2nd inning. Thon the runner. Time called. 1 out and a 2-ball, 1 strike count on Jeff Houston, the hitter. Houston, pretty good contact man as well. And again, Kamenicki goes to first. Temperature just dropped under the 90-degree mark at 9:38 Central Time. It's 89. Two-one the count. Here we go. Is Thon going? Not this time, and the pitch is bounced foul.
You know, those darn cold fronts can sure ruin a pleasant 4th of July. The 89. I've been here a few years ago where at game time 7:30 it's been 101 degrees.
Yep.
You know, so Frank Howard wanted to take.
It's back up to 90.
There you go. See, Frank Howard wanted to have extra hitting 3 consecutive days, and Buck Showalter said, "No way. We'll have it 2 of the 3 days, but we're not going to die in the heat and have all these players exhausted."
There goes Thon, and the 2-2 is skied into left. Paul will have to go back a few steps for this one to make the catch for the out. 2 gone. As it turns out, the Yankees did have a few extra guys out today hitting and working on various parts of the game.
It's almost like taking one of Frank's toys away, where you don't let him come out and work, you know, about 4 or 5 extra hours.
Well, He's here. It seems as if he's here at about 8:30 in the morning for a night game, and he works every crossword puzzle that's in every publication in existence. Waits for extra hitting. Here's the top of the order, Julio Franco.
In fact, Frank yesterday was honored with some other people. They had a nice banquet here for luncheon. He's an original Ranger, which is what he was. Ted Williams was down here managing the ball club.
And the pitch is a ball. And again, Thon over at first base was making a little indications as if he might start to move, and appeared to be frozen again as Kamenicki rushed his delivery.
Play crap, bud.
Thon back in. Thon is 11 out of 12 in the stolen base department this year.
On a team that really doesn't have a whole lot of speed anymore. One time Franco could run. Sierra doesn't run. He's had a little knee problem all year. Gonzalez with a hamstring problem.
And a bouncer to third, handled by Hayes. Franco's out. So are the Rangers in the seventh. No runs, one hit, one left. And at the end of 7 tonight from Arlington, the Rangers lead the Yankees 2-0.
Some of my toughest customers don't come in here to drink. I'm talking about these guys from Budweiser. Their idea of a good time? Coming in here to check every single bottle of Bud for freshness. Rotating my stomach. Even when they know I got 100 other things to do. Would you move it, please? They can be a real pain in the neck. Like fresh Budweiser is all we got to think about. But they are making sure that my customers get the best. And even I can't argue with that.
The people of Budweiser are committed to ensuring that all those who help bring you the king of beers, our wholesalers, their distributors, and retailers, share our legendary concern for freshness and quality.
When you order a Bud, you know you're getting the best. See you, Joe. See you, guys. When they say somebody still cares about quality, they're talking about everybody who helps bring you Budweiser. And hey, New Yorkers, this Bud's for you.
To get rid of her gray, my wife can spend 40 minutes. But I discovered the 5-minute hair coloring.
The revolutionary discovery called Just for Men, from the leader in men's hair coloring. Simply apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, shampoo out.
Gray is blended away. The look of my natural color is back in 5 minutes. That was me, and it won't fade or wash out.
My hair takes forever, but you look great in just 5 minutes.
The look of your natural color in just 5 minutes. With Just for Men.
I've got those charcoal burning hot, sizzling savory Johnsonville brats, the hot for the pride from Johnsonville.
Simply great taste.
New York Yankees baseball brought to you in part by Johnsonville Brats. Try 'em and get the hots for the brats with the simply great taste of Johnsonville. On to the 8th inning. Charlie Hayes leads off against Nolan Ryan. Strike one. Well, Ryan here on the first pitch shows signs of tiring, doesn't he? There's John Cangelosi in left.
Yeah,
he comes out firing here in the 8th.
Struck out 7 of the last 10. First pitch is as hard a fastball as he's thrown in this game.
And that was his 100th pitch of the night right there. Hayes fouls it back, and he's behind in the count, 0-2.
It's almost like Noli and Bobby Ryan have rather Bobby Valentine have a pact. You don't see Valentine going over and talk to him. It's an understanding. If Noli signals from the mound that he might be weakening or goes into the bench, he'll tell Bobby Valentine.
And a bouncer foul. Well, here's Ryan, 45, and he knows he's a special case, speaking of Valentine, in terms of a fellow hanging around as long as Ryan has. Similar to a situation in Chicago with Carlton Fisk, and they run into a little problem over there. Fisk has his own way of doing things and his own. Did Hayes go? Nope, he held up. The count is a ball and 2 strikes, and Fisk kind of felt he was pressured to go along with the overall program there as opposed to some of his own, and things have not worked out as well as he would like this year.
Something
too low, 2-2.
Something Putch Fisk may be released at the All-Star break. It's been floating around the city of Chicago.
So there's something perhaps to be said for letting a veteran who has great longevity, the way Ryan does here, do the things that he knows that keeps him ready. Count still 2 balls and 2 strikes on Charlie Hayes. Nolan Ryan, 12 strikeouts tonight, 1 walk. He's hit a man and has given up 1 hit.
24 strikeouts by the 2 starting pitchers for Texas in consecutive nights. Guzman had 12 yesterday, too.
And they're scheduled to have a hard thrower going tomorrow night in Bobby Witt. He's had problems with his neck and has been working out, and he was listed as a probable starter for tomorrow's game. Scott Sanderson scheduled to pitch for the Yankees. Well, they're starting pitching, especially since Ryan is healthy and back in the groove. Their starting pitching is pretty good.
Kevin
that
Brown
bullpen has been a problem. Yeah, and Brown, we didn't even mention him. That's going to go up the middle and a base hit into center for Charlie Hayes to open the Yankee 8th. So the Yankees put the leadoff man on for the first time tonight.
Second baseman Mike Gallego.
That was 13 in a row retired by Ryan before the base hit by Hayes.
Fastball, that little sinking action with Charlie Hayes, and what a pretty swing that was. Did he stay on that? Because Ryan throwing as hard as he does with that great curveball will make you focus at all times. And you've got to be very alert.
So a good at bat for Charlie Hayes.
Yeah, he'll quicken up your bat, won't he? Trying to catch up to things.
Now Gallego. And it misses wide. Ball 1.
Bobby Valentine's going to get his bullpen going. Kenny Rogers and Jeff Russell. Rogers was in the ball game yesterday, got lit up a little bit.
And Tony, just as they got up, you could hear a little ripple go through the crowd here. They know what's been going on with this bullpen. Gallego pops it up on the right side, and Palmeiro in foul territory makes the catch.
Well, Bobby Valentine really is getting used to actually having a bullpen without a setup man or middle relief. And his closer, Russell's been all right. Although this staff has blown 14 saves in this bullpen, the highest in the major leagues.
Yep. Highest blown saves, highest losses among bullpens. An earned run average of 5.27. And you're right, Russell has been good, but boy, to get the game to him has been something else. And they would prefer to use him only in the 9th if they could. He's throwing here in the 8th. Now Andy Stankiewicz, who has the other Yankee hit. That came in the 3rd. Foul ball, strike 1.
Got to wonder when Rodriguez went out there if Nolan Ryan did not call him out and maybe just get that extra breath, a little bit more rest after the Gallego pop-up.
And the ball popping away from Rodriguez, but he stays in a position to make a play on that as the ball scooted off to his right.
It's a hard curveball. This is a baseball that they should very quickly, Andy Stankiewicz should have to look at. Once it hits the dirt, when Nolan Ryan got this back, he checked every surface on that thing to see if there's a little abrasion there. And any pitcher will do it and use it. And once the ball bounces like that, with these cowhide covers, they can get scratched pretty easily. That wasn't
2-1.
That wasn't as hard a fastball right there. I don't know if some of the edge is going off Nolan or not.
Well, he came out and threw that very good fastball to Hayes on the first pitch.
Yeah, he may sense right here. He knows his own body and he knows his own fastball. That last one especially didn't have as much on it.
2-2. Well, you just never know, do you?
Yeah, you don't talk to Nolan Ryan and talk to him as if he's a thrower. He gets very upset with that. I remember even years ago when he was walking a lot of guys, he said, no, I'm a pitcher and I pitch to spots, which I think he's always tried to do. As hard as he throws, he's tried to spot pitches. All the way. They want to win a complete game. Or they just say Nolan.
Nolan, yeah.
Nolan.
He fouls this one out of play. Stankiewicz does.
He has 220 complete games in his major league career. Who says pitchers don't finish anymore?
Pitching one out into the 8th inning in this one. Twelve strikeouts tonight.
He's the only guy he hadn't gotten, as you mentioned a while ago.
Stankiewicz at 2-2. And he fights this one off, staying alive, fouling it down the right side. Ryan with 5,589 career strikeouts now. Stankiewicz got that base hit back in the 3rd. Charlie Hayes has opened the 8th inning with a single. He's on first. They really had never hit against Ryan before. Stankiewicz and Hayes have the hits. There's a fly ball into left center field. Cangelosi on the run, and makes the catch on the warning track. And back to first goes Hayes. No sooner does Bobby Valentine put Cangelosi into the game, and Stankiewicz makes a bid for an extra base hit, and Cangelosi holds it in.
Pretty perceptive. You've got to believe that Bobby Valentine, because Reimers might still have gotten an at-bat in this game. He's his 5th scheduled hitter, and there's 8th inning, and if something should happen, Ryan got tied up. So a little questions by Valentine, getting Reimer out of the outfield, and John Cangelosi, a center fielder, runs it down. Look at Andy. He thought it was going to drop in.
Oh, if Reimer's out there, the Yankees have a run, and Stankiewicz in scoring position, maybe at 3rd, with only one out. But instead, Cangelosi makes a fine running catch. And here's Mel Hall with a man at first and 2 outs as Hall takes the pitch wide, ball 1.
When you hit a fastball up there, as Andy Stankiewicz did, hit it that hard, you know Nolan's lost just a tad off the fastball, but he's still trying to spot pitches. Right on the outside corner.
1-1.
Hall looking for a pitch. He can pull and drive to right field. Ryan tailed the fastball away.
Hall walked his first time, 0 for 2. Struck out in the 3rd on a curveball that Hall was completely dominated by. This one hard, up and away, 2-1.
It is very doubtful we will ever see another like him. I don't know where he's going to come from.
No, me neither. Ryan has shut out the Yankees so far on 2 hits. Hall at the plate. Hayes at first. And a fly ball into right. Sierra is there to make the catch. And the Yankees are out in the 8th. No runs, 1 hit. 1 man left. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. 2-0 Texas.
Now at Century Hardware, get the Minuteman 50-foot reinforced vinyl hose with 3-ply construction and solid brass couplings. Just $6.99.
Yes, we can.
Save on True Temper's cushion grip grass shears with precision ground tempered steel blades, just $6.99. Look for all American-made values right now at participating Century Hardware stores, including this month's freebie during our Independence Day sale.
Century Hardware. Yes, we can.
The GMC Safari already has the largest engine in its class and four-wheel anti-lock brake standard. Then we added a few extras, like reclining seats, air conditioning front and rear, a great stereo, extra lighting, tinted glass, seats for 8, power mirrors, windows and locks, tilt wheel, cruise, and more. Now that it's loaded, how do we unload it? With this special limited-time smart lease. Hurry in now and see your Tri-State GMC truck dealer.
Pinstripe Heroes is brought to you by Champs Sports, not your average sports store.
Every story you hear about Yogi is true or could be true. And we roomed together for about 5 years. I had to unload Yogi's room. I'm telling you, he was giving me an ulcer. He required very little sleep, number one. See, he'd come in every night. Phil, tell me a story. And at first I wondered why. He said, well, he says, your voice puts me to sleep. Later on, when I started broadcasting, I was wondering, well, how many people I'm putting to sleep.
You put everything you can into every game. We put it all into one store, Champs Sports, not your average sports store.
Bottom of the 8th inning coming from Arlington with the Rangers leading 2-0. Nolan Ryan has shut out the Yankees on 2 hits so far tonight through 8 innings. Here's the last pitch of the inning to get Hall in the top of the 8th.
Look at the location and the movement on this. He turns it over. Hall, 2-1, is trying to pull this, get it in the seats with a man on and tie it up. And Ryan makes just a great pitch, as good as any fastball strikeout pitch he's thrown. That pitch was just as big as any of them.
Yeah, we saw the first pitch to Charlie Hayes. Here's Dean Palmer leading off the bottom of the 8th against Kamenicki with a base hit, and that's the 6th hit given up by Kamenicki. Well, Ryan in that inning came out and threw the ball as hard as he has all night on that first pitch to Hayes, and then wound up making over 20 pitches in that inning. And as you pointed out, Tony, throughout the inning, maybe lost a little something, pitching to spots, made a great pitch to Hall and got him. Now with this leadoff single by Dean Palmer, Rafael Palmeiro steps in, and the Yankee bullpen's going to go back to work. That's Tim Burke, the right-hander. Jeff Johnson was up last inning, the lefty. And a soft strike.
I think also what was interesting in that 8th inning, Cateray joins Tim Burke. But I also think it was interesting that Nolan Ryan, that 8th, went pretty much with his fastball. The pitch that has been his meal ticket for all these years. He stayed with the fastball because he probably figures he got better control of it.
1 strike the count. Palmer is back in. Well, the Yankees in the 9th will have Roberto Kelly, Don Mattingly, and Danny Tartable. Right now, down by 2 as Kamenicki tries to keep the Rangers within reach. Palmeiro hitless tonight. A couple of fly balls, including one to the warning track, and there's a base hit. Going to drop in there. Palmer makes the turn, but he will not challenge Kelly.
Changeup upstairs from Kamenicki. So he may be showing more signs of wear and tear than the 45-year-old.
So Palmeiro's on. And Ruben Sierra is due with nobody out. 2 men on. Noakes with a trip to the mound. Yankee bullpen busy. And here comes Mark Connor. Seven innings plus these 2 hitters in the 8th for Kamenicki. And Mark Connor strolls to the mound.
With Sierra's numbers this year, you want to keep him from the left side. You look at his numbers batting right-handed, he's just under 400.
Yep. A little over 260, 265, I think, the other way.
Well, we started talking about the glamour names who may possibly be free agents after the season, like Puckett and Rifkin and Barry Bonds and Sierra. I mean, I'm certain a lot of the clubs are going to have to re-sign some of these people, economics allowing. Boy, there are going to be some names could be on the list after the World Series this year.
Well, there's Ruben Sierra. Sierra scored the first Texas run. Palmer has opened the 8th with a single. Palmeiro followed with a base hit. Sierra 1 for 3. Fly ball into left. Hall is there to make the catch. One gone. With Tony Kubek, this is Dwayne Statz from Arlington, Texas. We're at Arlington Stadium before a sellout crowd. Bottom of the 8th, the Rangers, who scored 2 runs in the second inning, have a 2-0 lead. Sierra the first out here in the 8th.
Looked like he jammed himself, didn't he? And the jump all over that first pitch from Kamenicki, and the fastball sailed in on his fist.
Now Juan Gonzalez. Gonzalez with 18 home runs. 11 of those came in June. He doubled in a run in the second, was hit by a pitch in the 6th, line to center in the 4th inning. Kamenicki leaves one upstairs, ball 1. The Yankees came back to beat Texas last night 9-6. They've had a tough time with Ryan tonight. One more shot against the Rangers.
Yankees
There's a strike, 1-1.
Yankees have had a tough time in this ballpark the last few years.
Yep. They won just 1 game here last year. 1-5 and finished 5-7 overall against the Texas Rangers. One and 1 the count to Juan Gonzalez. Kamenicki, who had slowed the pace greatly in the 6th and 7th, doing the same thing here in the 8th after the first 2 men had reached. Whatever he said brought a little smile to the face of Matt Noakes. Showalter and Connor would like to be able to smile, see Kamenicki get out of this spot. The 1-1 off the end of the bat, foul down beyond Orlando Gomez. So it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count.
This is the kind of experience that is great for a pitcher like Kamenicki, trying to build up innings on the major league level. Obviously, in this heat, he's going to be a little bit tired, but learning to pitch through trouble against a team like this and a hitter like this who's been so hot in June, sometimes you can learn more from this experience than he could 5 or 6 other starts.
This one a little close.
Wow.
And the count is up. Did he get him?
Kamenicki, there he goes, very demonstrative on the mound. He thought it was within the strike zone with Gonzalez diving in. And these are the things he did in his last outing, which had Buck Showalter and Mark Connors upset. And he stands and glares down the umpire, and they don't care for that.
Tough to get the next call after doing that. 2-2 the count. 2 men on. And a fly ball hit deep down the left field line. And it's a foul ball.
A little bit of frustration not getting the call on the 2-1 pitch, and so he hangs a breaking ball. You can tell by that body language right there. That was very upsetting to him. He's still upset.
So the count on Gonzalez at 2-2. Cangelosi due to be next. 1 out, 2 men on. Rangers, as you know, got off to a terrible start at home. They're now 500 at home, 20-20. After starting 5-13 here.
That's Matt Noakes is changing the pattern. Palmer from second base had a chance to look at a lot of pitches in that sequence.
And a little tap. Noakes will have to go to Mattingly out there as the runners move up. So Gonzalez is retired. 2 gone in the inning with minutes second and third. Let's go to New York now. Lisa Burkhardt is standing by.
All right, thanks, Dwayne. At Shea, top of the 8th, Eric Anthony with a base hit to right off Anthony Young scores Craig Biggio for a 2-1 Astros lead. The game now in the bottom of the 8th. Back to Dwayne and Tony.
All right, thanks, Lisa. Here in Arlington, the Yankees down by a couple. John Cangelosi prepares to bat for the first time in this game.
Charlie Hayes in tight. Cangelosi with that speed. Left side. Mattingly cheating a little bit also.
And this one down around his feet. Ball 1. Cangelosi hitting 188 with a homer and 4 runs batted in.
He can really work the count, though.
A ball, no strikes. There's a strike, 1-1. Cangelosi inserted into the game in the top of the inning for defensive purposes. Made a fine running catch in left center field on a ball hit by Andy Stankiewicz. That had Kevin Reimer been out there, Reimer just didn't have the range to have gotten over there to make the catch.
Talking about Cangelosi at 180, his on-base percentage is .337. Got 18 bases on balls.
Yep.
So he can start something or keep something going. Plus he can pinch run, play defensively.
Yeah, and for if you project those walks out to a full season in terms of the number of at-bats he'd have 100 walks or so.
He's only got 80 official at-bats right now and 18 walks.
1-2 the count. And a base hit into left. Palmer scores. Palmeiro's on his way to the plate. He will score. Cangelosi's out at second as Hayes goes back to Gallego. But Cangelosi, who made that great running catch in the top of the inning, drives in 2 runs in the bottom of the inning to make it a 4-0 ball game. So Cangelosi will get credit for a single. He's out trying to move into second as this base hit drives in Palmer and Palmeiro.
Kamenecki a little bit tired. His stuff was a little bit up that inning, and it shows in the 2 runs registered by the Rangers.
And at the end of 8, 4-0 Texas.
Answer the call of the new Batman stunt show at Six Flags Great Adventure with explosive action, electrifying stunts, and all those wonderful toys. There's even the incredible Batmobile. All the greatest stunts Hollywood has to offer. And it's all right here at a theme park that's bigger than Disneyland and a whole lot closer. Six Flags Great Adventure and the new Batman stunt show. Nothing else comes close.
Oh, jeez, what a day.
Oh, I bet mine was worse.
Oh, hey, we forgot to return the video we rented last night.
Oh, you bring it back. You picked it out.
Only because I didn't have the one you wanted.
Yeah, but you still liked it.
No, I didn't. I hated it.
Well, I hated it more.
Well, yeah, okay, well, I returned that stupid movie you rented about
the worst part about renting a movie is having to make a special trip to take it back. With pay-per-view, you never have to take anything back.
Why rent it? You got it. Pay-per-view.
Does your car interior look worn with age? Bring it to Rayco on South Broad Street in Hamilton. Rayco can reupholster the seats or do custom interior work to make the inside of your car look like new. Need a new vinyl top? Bring your car to Rayco. Rayco also replaces convertible tops, carriage tops, and Jeep soft tops. Bring your car to Rayco and find out why we say in, on, or under. Rayco's got you covered.
Don't miss Neil Diamond's only New York area appearance at Madison Square Garden, August 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 20th, and 21st. Tickets on sale now at the Garden Box Office and all Ticketmaster locations. Call 212-307-7171. Well, Nolan Ryan returns to the mound here to work the 9th inning, and he got a great standing ovation as he walked from the dugout to the mound to start the 9th inning. Roberto Kelly leads off. Fouls one, back and out of play. Strike one. It's now a 4-0 ball game as a result of that base hit by Cangelosi. So the Yankees have a bigger hole than ever from which to extricate themselves.
And he's staying with his fastball, at least. The first pitch is an indication.
He's quickly out in front of Kelly, 0-2. 12 strikeouts, only 1 walk tonight. Ryan has shut out the Yankees on 2 hits, has 61 career shutouts. A ball and 2 strikes. Roberto Kelly, number 13.
First baseman Don Mattingly.
He has gotten Roberto twice in this game. Still a lot of life in that fastball. Maybe not as much velocity pitch by pitch. But still terrific movement. What spots?
An American League high 13 strikeouts for Ryan. And Don Mattingly fouls the first one back. Well, Andy Stankiewicz stands alone as the only hitter not to be struck out tonight by Nolan Ryan. Mattingly with a 15-game hitting streak, hitting .371 for the life of that streak. 0 for 3 tonight. He struck out on a curveball back in the 6th. This one's popped foul and out of play. 2 strikes to count. Ryan trying to go the distance. The Yankees trying to get something started. They had the bases loaded in the 3rd, left them that way. And that's really it. At one stretch, Ryan retired 13 in a row. He's retired 17 of the last 18 men to face him. And misses wide to Mattingly. A ball, 2 strikes.
Heck, this is worth the entire 4th of July right here. Forget the fireworks. Ryan facing Mattingly at 45.
Mattingly, fly ball to left. Cangelosi makes the catch. 2 gone. 2 outs in the 9th with the bases empty. There's the line on Ryan so far, and what a line it is. The 45-year-old right-hander. 1 walk, and that was to Mel Hall way back in the 1st inning.
He also hit Gallego in the 3rd with a breaking ball.
Nolan took a little stroll on the mound before facing Danny Tartabull. And a fastball in there for a strike.
He's got all this. Everybody in the stands up on their feet now.
These fans are all with Ryan. They were chanting his name in the 7th and 8th. Chanting his name again, waiting for him to come out to start the 9th. And here he is, 2 outs into the 9th. Tartabull fouls one out of play. And the count is 2 strikes. 130 pitches right now. (0-2) on Tarnable. Ryan. Ready? Here it is. Tarnable sends one deep to right. Sierra back. That might go. Goodbye. An 0-2 pitch. And Danny Tarnable hits one out. His 8th home run of the year, and that will deny Ryan the shutout. The 3rd home run Ryan has given up this year. It comes on an 0-2 pitch.
And most of Ryan's pitches in the 8th, and with the exception of just the one curveball to Roberto Kelly, the 2nd strike, have been fastballs. And Danny Tarnable finally catches up to one of those fastballs.
So the Yankees get a run and send Kevin Mouse to the plate. Strike one.
You almost get to the point with the way this guy's throwing, and the chances of seeing him are running out that you're putting for the shutout. I mean, it almost seems strange. It really does. Well, you're seeing a marvel out there. Just
the 1-strike pitch. 1-1. Ryan at 45. Here it is now 89 degrees. He's made over 130 pitches and just misses Tomas. 2 balls and a strike. That's the other side of this marble. It's been over 90 degrees all night. He's 45 and has made over 130 pitches. And a popper, short left. Cangelosi's there, and this one is over. A 4-1 final as Ryan gets his 2nd win of the year and goes the distance for the 2nd time. In the 9th for the Yankees, 1 run, 1 hit. And it's a final 4-1. Nolan Ryan picks up the victory.
What a captivating athlete, huh? Call him a performer, entertainer, and you've never seen a Pele play soccer, or Gretzky play hockey. This guy pitching, you name all the great athletes ever in any sport. And boy, the focus on this man for how many years now? And he just continues to baffle people with his longevity and his dedication. And if they want to make a role model of an athlete, there's the one right there.
Career win number 316. Ryan just missed his 62nd shutout on that 2-out home run by Danny Tarnable. 4-1 the final. Ryan defeats Kamenicki, and this series is even at a game apiece. We'll be back in a moment.
Bud Light Spotlight is on New York.
From the village of Harlem.
Amsterdam Avenue. We like downtown.
Manhattan.
Columbus Avenue.
Westchester.
On the east side, we drink Bud Light.
The great thing about New York is we got it all.
Bud Light in New York.
Bud Light?
City Ball. What a lovely brand of beer you have here.
Bud Light es muy rico.
Bud Light for everyone on the house. What do you say? Hey!
At 7-Eleven, we look at convenience a little differently. Well, we know everyone is in a hurry these days. Well, almost everyone. What good is getting something fast if it isn't fresh? That's why our big bites are freshly grilled and our coffee is freshly ground. Which means you always get a fresh bite to eat without missing anything important. Well, almost anything. For guaranteed freshness makes a difference. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
General Nutrition Center's Pro Performance Amino 1000
the scientifically developed protein supplement. Amino 1000 can help give you the edge. The Amino 1000 gel capsule, designed for fast absorption. Amino 1000, exclusively at GNC, the authority in sports nutrition.
Smile. Gotcha. Want a camera? Set your focus to the one-stop home entertainment center. Nobody beats the Wiz.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rangers and Yankees will play again.
The Texas Rangers have beaten the Yankees tonight 4-1 on a very warm night in Arlington, Texas. And on the Jeep Eagle game summary for Texas, 4 runs, 8 hits, an error, 5 left. For the Yankees, a run, 3 hits, no errors with 5 left. Nolan Ryan goes the distance. The first complete game victory for Ryan since June of '91. He's 2-3. Scott Kamenicki, the losing pitcher, 1-6. Danny Tartabull hit his 8th home run of the year. 13 strikeouts tonight for Nolan Ryan. That's an American League single game high this year as the 45-year-old right-hander goes the distance and wins his career victory number 316. There will be fireworks in Arlington following this one. Right now, we'll go to New York to the sports desk where Lisa Burkhardt is standing by.
Thanks, Dwayne. Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader between the Mets and the Astros has proven to be a little bit more of a battle. The Astros now in front 3-1. In the bottom of the 9th, Eric Anthony drove in the go-ahead run in the 8th inning. Meanwhile, in Game 1, the Mets won that one 5-3. Dwight Gooden got the victory to improve to 6-7 on the year. Bobby Bonilla went 2 for 3. Elsewhere in the National League today, it was Cincinnati over Pittsburgh 5-2. Greg Swindell won his 5th straight as the Reds beat the Pirates for the 3rd time in a row. Chicago loses to Atlanta 4-2 tonight. St. Louis and San Francisco, no score in the top of the 8th. Philadelphia now in front of Los Angeles 2-1 in the 5th. Eric Davis with his 5th home run of the season. Montreal and San Diego all tied up at 1. Fred McGriff with his 17th homer. The most exciting game in the American League had to be the matchup between the Baltimore Orioles and the Minnesota Twins. The Twins coming from behind in the bottom of the 15th inning to win it 3-2. Chili Davis drove in 2 runs to give Minnesota the victory. Elsewhere in the American League, it was Cleveland over Oakland 8-1. The Twins now lead the A's by a game in the West. Toronto over California 8-6. The Jays were down 6-1 at one point. Boston was at Chicago. Boston beat Chicago 2-1. Milwaukee and Kansas City postponed because of rain. Seattle at Detroit tonight. Seattle wins it 4-3 in 10. We'll be back with more from the MSG Sports Desk right after this.
Sports Desk is brought to you by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Centers. For everything in home electronics, music, and movies, nobody beats the Wiz.
When you think of Nobody Beats the Wiz, you think home entertainment, right? Well, think again. Nobody Beats the Wiz also carries a wide selection of home office equipment. Personal computers from Wang, Epson printers, Xerox copiers, Panasonic fax machines, Brother word processors, telephones, and much more. All the top brands at the right prices. So organize your life at the not just the home entertainment center. Nobody beats the Wiz.
At 7-Eleven, we look at convenience a little differently. Well, we know everyone is in a hurry these days. Well, almost everyone. What good is getting something fast if it isn't fresh? That's why our big bites are freshly grilled and our coffee is freshly ground. Which means you always get a fresh bite to eat without missing anything important. Well, almost anything. For guaranteed freshness makes a difference. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
Tonight on our half-hour edition of the MSG Sports Desk, right after the post-game report, Mike Quick will check in on the New Jersey All-Stars. So we'll see you then. We'll send you back to the Yankees right after this word.
California and the Rickle Trip to the Stars Sweepstakes. Win a grand prize vacation for 4 to Disneyland to experience the newest attraction, Fantasmic. Somewhere between fright and fantasy. It's a sight and sound experience so extraordinary it can only happen at Disneyland. You'll fly nonstop to California on Delta Airlines to see the Yankees play the Angels, tour Paramount Studios, and attend the Arsenio Hall show. Runner-up prizes include tickets to a Yankee game. Stop by any Rickle Home Center today to enter. Remember, Rickle helps you do it better.
If you have thinning hair, call Hair Club for Men for a free brochure and find out about Hair Club's non-surgical polyfuse method, which fuses carefully matched human hair to your own. It looks and feels natural.
I wanted something that looked very natural and also looked very natural when I was skiing and when my hair was very wet.
Your new hair can also renew confidence and self-esteem and help to bring out the best of who you are. Enjoy the worry-free active lifestyle you've always wanted.
Even when you feel around the perimeter of your head, I mean, you really cannot feel anything in your hair.
It really gave me more ways to be able to do my hair, and I could do it in more of a 90s fashion.
No matter what the sport or activity, Hair Club for Men's non-surgical process will allow you to feel secure about your new hair. Call for our free brochure to see our various hairstyles and receive information about your hair loss alternatives.
And by the way, I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.
We're back in Arlington, Texas. This current series even at a game apiece. The Yankees beaten tonight by the Texas Rangers. And Nolan Ryan, the final score, 4-1. Well, there's not much to say other than that Nolan Ryan was simply overpowering tonight and pitched as well as we've seen him pitch in a long time.
The adjective pool has run dry when you talk about Nolan Ryan, but I can remember 3 pitches in this ball game when you do what he did to some pretty good hitters.
Yep. One to Mel Hall.
Curveball to Mel Hall, a curveball to Roberto Kelly, and I thought a really big pitch when it was 2-0 Rangers. Mel Hall came up with a man on looking for something to pull. Nolan Ryan appeared to be losing a little bit of the real velocity in his fastball. A 2-1 pitch, a little sinker ball low and away to Mel that he'd off the end of the bat and line it to right field. But those 3 pitches stand out, and the man is just an amazing, amazing person, and one of the nicest guys you'll ever want to meet.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Tony, the Rangers obviously saw something tonight that they're looking for. They're on a 14-game homestand, and they need every win they can get because they're going to spend a good part of the second half on the road. The Yankees tonight from Kamenicki, I thought, unfortunately, gave up the hit to Cangelosa and made it a 4-0 ball game. But I thought they saw something from Kamenicki that might give them hope that perhaps the 28-year-old right-hander can contribute.
Yeah, he had control of his breaking ball, threw some good changeups early, spotted his fastball, lost his composure a little bit in the second inning, and he obviously was tiring when the 8th inning rolled around when they got 3 hits and 2 runs. But again, that might have been the best learning experience for Kamenicki because he was tired and he had to really pitch even though he gave up a couple. But yeah, there were some promising signs, I thought, from Cammy.
Kamenicki hooked up against Nolan Ryan, and Ryan wins this one. The final is 4-1. Texas over the Yankees. We'll pause for this.
Brother, get met. It pays.
With Matchlight, you get the best charcoal, Kingsford, with just the right amount of lighter fluid already added. That's why there's only one match for Matchlight. Matchlight from Kingsford.
All right, here he goes. He'll need a perfect 10 to qualify. Come on, son. And the dismount.
We go.
Oh, boy. He's young yet. He'll be back.
Can we get it there tomorrow? With express mail?
Sure.
Count on Express Mail for your most important documents.
We deliver for you.
Back in Arlington, 4-1, the Texas Rangers have beaten the Yankees. A reminder that Lisa Burkhart will be coming along with Sports Desk immediately following the conclusion of our post-game report. Meanwhile, the Yankees will take on the Texas Rangers again tomorrow evening. We'll be with you here at 7:30 on MSG before the Yankees return home. So this is just a short trip down to Arlington, home against the Minnesota Twins Monday's game on WPIX starting at 7:30. And then right back with us here on MSG Network Tuesday, starting with the Yankee scorecard at 7, and Wednesday night again against the Minnesota Twins on MSG as the Yankees open that 7-game homestand, which will feature not only the Twins but Seattle leading up to the All-Star break. So the Yankees, after beaten by this one 4-1, now a game under 500, 39 and 40 on the year. Nolan Ryan strikes out 13, walked only 1 tonight, gave the Yankees their 1 run, a home run by Danny Tartable with 2 outs in the ninth. Back in a moment.
And what is Jersey's favorite beer? Bud Light. Come on down and drink some Bud Light with us. What is it? Jersey! Bud Light in Bogan.
Not Boken, Hoboken.
I'm dying! I like a cold Bud Light.
After a Bud Light, I love to look at men with hard bodies.
Swing! You mean a Bud Light commercial? I'll give myself the world's fastest haircut. Oh! Hey!
At 7-Eleven, we look at soda differently. Take Bill Derflinger and Ed Mendez. We don't mind that they're doing a little reading on the job, because it takes guys like Ed and Bill, Bill's in the red shoes, to make sure our coolers are always maintained at 35 degrees. It's a little thing, but it makes a big difference for those who want their soda fast and cold. So if you open a cooler and see a couple of attractive guys like these, please don't whistle. It could throw them off. For 35 degrees makes a difference. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
Right back to the mound, Monteleone out at second, and to throw to first, out there. Monteleone comes on.
D&L Sound Studio at 1726 Genesee Street in Trenton carries a full line of audio equipment and alarms. D&L has stereos by Pioneer, Yamaha, Craig, and other major brands. Amps and speakers by MTX, Pile, and Earthquake. D&L can do a custom installation to get the most from your system. D&L now has Viper alarms to let your car speak for itself.
Protected by Viper. Stand back.
New at D&L, Street Glow Undercar Neon Lights. Whether your car is domestic, foreign, or exotic, do your car right with D&L.
Hello, this is Ann Wilson. And this is Nancy Wilson from the Rocker Park.
Hello, this is Neil Tennant.
I'm Chris Lowe with the Pet Shop Boys.
Hi, this is Tim Kelly of the band Slaughter.
Hi, this is George Michael.
Hi, this is Alan Wilder from Depeche Mode. This is Alice Cooper.
This is Phil Collins.
Hi, this is Billy Idol. All right, Trenton, you treated me good. Hope I'm treating you good with my music. So you listen to the best songs on WPST.
97.5 WPST.
WPST.
Trenton and Philadelphia.
Some car repair shops say they do it all. At Rayco, we really do it all. If you need brakes, a new muffler, shocks, or struts, no one's better than Rayco. Engine troubles are no trouble for Rayco's onboard computer. It will diagnose the problem right the first time. Don't overheat. Rayco's back flush system does more than the radiator. It flushes the entire cooling system. Rayco's complete car care includes custom interior work, seat covers, convertible tops, and sunroofs. Bring your car to Rayco and find out why we say, in, on, or under, Rayco's got you covered.
All over in Arlington, Texas, the final score. The Rangers 4 and the Yankees 1. Coming up next, the postgame report with Al Troutwig. We'll be with you again tomorrow evening when the Yankees again take on the Texas Rangers, starting with Yankee scorecard at 7:30. New York Yankees baseball has been brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By your neighborhood 7-Eleven. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. And by the 9X Yellow Pages. If it's out there, it's in here.